Hello and welcome to Trucking Answers. We are here today. It is live. We are here live on Memorial Day. I want to thank everybody for being here. And of course, we take a moment today to remember everyone who died in military service for us. That's why we get to be here every day. We get to go to all the sales that they have today, all these other goofy things, whatever it is. That's why we can do it, because people went before us and didn't come back. So we want to remember that always on Memorial Day, and really every day. We should do that. Many veterans in the audience I know, and there you go. So that's Memorial Day, and we are here today. Every Monday, as usual, we are here. So let's get right to it. I want to thank everybody for being here that is out there, and I want to say Jerry Barker was here first on Friday. I don't want to rain on King Bob's parade, but Jerry Barker was on Friday, first on Friday. Hard to believe. So thank you very much for that. King Bob first today, though, and I appreciate it that you passed by the house today. I noticed you didn't stop by and drop off a casserole or anything. That was somewhat disappointing, but good to see you went by anyway. We were out driving yesterday, too, and I noticed there were a lot of trucks at the truck stop. I was somewhat disappointed at that. At some of the truck stops that people didn't get back. Disappointing. Maybe they didn't want to be there, so hopefully they wanted to be out. Trucker Hershey, thank you for being here. Even though you're broke down, at least you are here. When are they going to get your truck fixed? Probably nobody working today. That's pretty disappointing. Mr. James Faust, thanks for being here today. Good to see you. Will Hazard is here. Mad Melly, what's going on? Steel Horse is flying a flag today, which we should always do every day, and thank you for saying that, of course. Kim, what is happening today? Good to be here. Misty, checking in today. Dixie Fellow, happy Memorial Day to you. Thank you for being here today on your holiday. Let's see. Ulysses, proud to be a veteran. Me too. Thank you for being here. Michael Muller, happy Memorial Day. Lickety split, what is happening out there? That's great. Trucking Dargan, almost got that one wrong. I'm glad you're here today, though. Street scores, 30-minute breaks should be mandatory. It's going to be mandatory, and we're going to talk about it. Holy mackerel, there's a proposal to make it mandatory. The HUD Appropriations Bill, Section 135, would prohibit the FMCSA from eliminating the 30-minute break, so you may get to have it whether you want it or not. Kenneth P., you're working today. Good, getting some miles in. Thank you for being here. YBR Transport Corp. What should be taking off or reduce the 34-hour reset? Well, the idea of the reset, of course, was to give you some time off, So, holy mackerel, if any that they reduce, of course, companies will just use to make us sit in a dock and not pay anybody, and nobody wants that, right? Lawrence, thank you for being here. I appreciate it. Alf. Miami bound, good. It can't get any hotter than this. It's hot out today. Blue Lion, hey, it's good to see you today. What's happening? Adco is here, good. Everybody coming in. I'm surprised to see everybody today. I didn't know how it would go today. Thank you for being here, everyone, though. Jason Robert, yeah, what's going on out there? Is it going good? I hope so. The president is here today, too. Thank you for being here, President Bush. I always appreciate seeing you here today. Al Johns, what's happening? Kim is 40 minutes away from delivery in Dayton, and then you're going to Appleton. Well, at least to keep you running. It's always so hard to keep running over the holidays. Very disappointing. I always like to, if I was out, I'm like, give me 3,000 miles or something so I don't have to sit around and wait for everybody to open up because they don't pay, hardly enough to do that. Okay, so YBR, we covered that, right? Good to see you here today, though. Can we comment on the FMCSA website about autonomous vehicles? Yeah, I saw a thing about that. I think you can. I don't exactly know how to do that one. I don't have a link to that, but I think they were requesting comments on fast-tracking the autonomous vehicle proposals that they want. They want a way to fast-track it, and I think you can. I think so. I don't have a link to it or anything, though. Trucker J, what's going on? First last name is here. Good to see you. Daniel from Pennsylvania. Wow. You're at Melton's Binghamton, right? What is going on down there at Melton today? Is it busy in there, or are people just doing laundry? Michael is in Arizona. Hey, what's happening? You're enjoying 34 in New York State. Oh, good. At least you got some time off on the holiday. Get ready to roll when everybody opens back up. Roderick, what's going on? Sam, Memorial Day from a service plaza in Ohio. I like those. If you're talking the Pike up there, they have free wash or dry. No, was it free? Maybe you had to pay for it. Anyway, they had free showers. As long as you got your stuff, free showers. and laundry, which was surprising. Your load got rejected and have to wait for tomorrow. Now, are they going to pay you for that time? Chilling in Grand Rapids, Michigan. Well, it's probably warm up there at least. Bad Apples is there in Ohio. Shadow and Mystify, the rates are no good. Yeah, maybe. I don't know. What are the rates today? I mean, I just watched another YouTube, Cash is King Trucking. He had a good rate over the holiday, a really good rate. So we wanted to ask if it's better to get your CDL at home than go to a school. You think you see a fire night? Oh, go to a company school. Let's say, how do you get it at home? Always get it at a truck school and get the state to pay for it if that's possible. Check with Florida. They may pay for your truck school for you. You might not have to pay anything. Michael Muller, you finished 4,586 miles in a pay period with Smith's Transport. That's a lot of miles in a pay period. Was that all done in the pay period, or did they, is that an overlap? Holy moly. Jack Daniels is checking in. What a great day to check in, too, for Jack Daniels, certainly. You'll be in Appleton tomorrow morning, and it'll be 2,700 miles since Thursday. That's very good, too. You should have more time to run this week. It's going to be a 3,000-mile week. That's way better than where you were, don't you think? 30 minutes off is good for the LTL drivers, so the companies can't coerce them. Well, yeah, no, I don't think hardly anybody gets paid for it. Maybe like Yellow, maybe the union companies do, and then they could take their 30 minutes, but these over the road, it just makes a parking hassle. I mean, holy mackerel. And to mandate it, but they don't mandate anybody's paid for it, certainly, which I guess they shouldn't and can't. But it's just the idea that it took 30 minutes of everybody's 14-hour and nobody got paid for it. And so that's, to give it back, they're not increasing the workday at all, really. It's still 14 hours. This show's better than your in-laws' crappy food. Well, that's good. That's good or bad. I'm not sure, right? You're off on a holiday and getting paid for it. Never thought it would happen. It can happen, believe me. More things can happen than you can believe. D is your highness. Nice name. Maryland today. Trucker, she had a check engine light. Oh, water and fuel. There's a special light for that on my truck. It's got little raindrops coming into the fuel. I like it. But no water. The sensor is okay. They say it's the ECU ordered. Oh, nice. So you just get to sit and wait for it. Love it. So Misty spent 6 hours at a Walmart picking up tonight. That's not good. One laundry machine is broken. Well, at least they have laundry. Give them that. The only bad thing about working from a holiday is dealing with all the four-wheelers. They're like swarms of locusts. There's tons of people. It's always the worst because these are the people that don't normally drive on the interstate. They hook up their big bass boat with all the sparkles in it, and they go trucking under their pickup truck, but they don't normally drive out there. I agree. I mean, it's the worst, really. Candy likes the videos. They're very informative. Thank you very much. I appreciate that. Walt Knight got busted for checking your credit report when you submitted a job. Don't they agree to that? I got a letter saying you're going to get some money, like $50, when they got convicted. There must have been a class action and forgot about it. There must have been a class action because they make you sign all these goofy forms when they start. I never agreed with it or even understood it. Hey, you have bad credit. You can't work here. Well, that's why I need a job. I have bad credit because I'm not working. So I don't know how the bad credit correlates to you not being able to work. It never made any sense to me. I didn't realize Knight had some kind of class action. They all should. Nobody should check your credit. It doesn't make any difference. Jason said it's hot. It's you're in Nebraska headed to South Dakota. That's not a great load, but at least you're moving somewhere. What do I think about Crete? I wish they would have talked to me more at the truck show, but still recommending them. I think today is the first time you did a proper 30-minute break and got 2:36 remaining. What do you mean by proper? I mean, we're not doing any work on the break, right? Because it's all off duty. You should certainly be parked. Adco's on I-74 in Indiana. Welcome to Hoosier Land here. We appreciate you being in Indiana. You're going to Tipton, Pennsylvania, Michael. Oh, what the heck is up there? There's nothing up there open today. A couple of RV plants or whatever. You were talking to the dispatchers over the weekend, and they said because the holiday, they're having a real hard time keeping everybody. Yes, that's why on Friday of a holiday, I want, 2,000, 2,500 miles for Tuesday. Exactly. You're lucky you got that many miles, really, over the holiday. The service plaza is nice, so don't mind it. Brokers paying for downtime. Good. That's unusual and good. Those plazas on the Ohio Turnpike, when they put those up with the washing machines and showers, I mean, that was the greatest thing ever. Because all the parking's free, the showers are free. I mean, you could just basically stay there. 68 and beautiful here. We don't know where here is. I'm never first, but at least you made it, Thomas. That's great. Thanks for being here. I mean, nobody could be here before Friday afternoon. Jerry Barker, who ironically is not here now. Hello and greetings from Maryland. Keep up the good work. Thank you. I appreciate you saying that. Got a nice run from the California to Chicago. Went through those bad storms. Oh, my gosh. It was horrible here, too. Blew down lines. Not where I live. The lines are all buried, but just around the outside of town. All the power lines got blown down and everything. It was a mess. The bird feeder, I had to go pick that thing up. Taking your 30 before break at home and delivering in the morning. That's where it should be, of course, if you want it there. If you don't want to be out. Autonomous vehicles scare you too much. The human element, there's a long time before these things work. I mean, the post office is going to try one now for a few days. There's decades before they take anybody's job in real numbers. And the first people to go, unfortunately, are going to be long-distance southern routes because that's going to be where they're going to be able to do it the best to start out with because of the weather. To take over the whole country, we'll all be dead before that happens. Trucking wife, good afternoon. It's good to see you. D is your highness. Best to get your permit first and do the truck training. The classes is what costs the most. Sometimes the state pays for it. The state, you can get your state to pay for it. Call the Department of Unemployment. You don't have to be unemployed. They still might pay for it. The shocker. Michigan pays for truck school. The program is called Michigan Works. They'll pay $6,500. There you go. So there's a state paying it. Then you don't have to pay anything. You can go anywhere. No contract. That's totally the first line that you should try. Frederick caught me on stream. Thank you for being here. I appreciate it. Where I'm live every Monday at 1. 1 England. I'm seeing England right here. 1 Eastern. Thank you for telling you about England. Yes, you're quite welcome. Please tell everybody else. Tell all your friends. Friends don't let friends drive at England. JB Hunt pays for 30-minute breaks. Really? How much do they pay? They don't advertise it. I'd advertise that. Headed back to Barstow. Mail always runs. That's true, right. There was a postal thing in here today. I guess they're delivering packages. I didn't get one. And Hunt don't. I work for them. Yeah. Do they really pay for a 30-minute break? I mean, maybe in California because they're required to. Do you know you just got your truck out of the shop last week and the check engine light already back on? Yeah. Sometimes these lights, I mean, it's just a disaster. If they can't figure it out and it's running okay, we just keep rolling it. 3,200 miles last week at 3408 scheduled next week with a home time. Man, I know where all the money is rolling in out here. On the back end of a 48-hour fast. Oh, very nice. Bad day to do it on a holiday. Johnson, Illinois. I don't know where that is. Heading to Georgia. What's going on with the new 30-minute break? The word is bird is the word. No. Okay. The HUD Appropriations Bill, Section 135, says that they're going to prohibit the FMCSA from eliminating the break. So if the Appropriations Bill for the Housing and Urban Development, somebody stuck these things in here, there's thousands of these things stuck in, the 30-minute break will be prohibited from being, taken out of there. You'll be required. The break will be required no matter what the law change comes to. So it's possible that in June here, when they announce the law, hopefully in June, and then they change the law, that this appropriations bill goes through at some later point and the 30-minute break could come back in. That's possible as well. Oh my gosh. It's just a total disaster. Some safety advocate probably got some congressmen to stick it in there. You get holiday pay for Memorial Day. Everyone else should too. I totally agree. Everybody that's not being paid today, that's terrible. Some companies only pay it if you work. I've seen that. We give you $50 extra if you work a holiday. No. You should get paid for the holiday whether you work or not. Pam has a nice account with GM out of Fort Wayne. No doubt. Did you see that? Starting next week. I saw that. They took over for Penske, I think, because Penske in Fort Wayne is laying 80 drivers off. And Pam has a home every day account if you live in Fort Wayne, Indiana, where they have $11.40 guarantee a week and home every day, no touch, automotive, regular route for Pam. All the road drivers should go there. They probably all get a raise. All right, Dollar Chaser, you're doing class and you're going to get it paid. 100% thank you. That's really good and good. Nope to Pam. Steel Horse, look, this is a dedicated GM guaranteed pay account. That's not bad for Pam especially. I was surprised when I saw that too. What do you think? What's going on with the Colorado driver out on bail? All right, we got that too. That Colorado driver in that crash, that guy's out on bail. It was raised through Facebook and this GoFundMe. People gave him money, which is hard to believe, but they did. And this guy got out on bail, and he did a live video, 20-minute live video. Brilliant. Most of it thanking the people that gave him money. Very little of it being sorry for anything. And he wasn't sorry for the crash or anything. He was sorry that people died in a crash, because I'm sure his lawyer said he can't say stuff. He's out. He cannot leave the state of Colorado. The prosecutor wanted to bring him back in and put an ankle bracelet on him, but that hasn't gone through yet. So he's out on $400,000 because people gave him money as little as a couple dollars at a time and got him out. Felt bad for him. So as far as we know, he's still here. He did a live video on his wife's account this week on Facebook. I believe it's still up. U.S. Foods pays a 30-minute break. That's interesting. What do these people pay for the break? Keep getting annoyed from the calls from J.B. Hunt. They'll never end. Micro gives scholarships for trade schools. I wonder how you would get that. On the 30-minute break, you'd like to see, you don't have to do 30 minutes straight, like 3 times. Oh my gosh, split the 30-minute break up. It's hard enough to teach people logs as it is. They recently started a game for 30-minute breaks. It's a state's federal minimum wage. It must be Colorado then. Or must be California, because that'd be the only state that would mandate it being paid. Hello from Fort Worth, it's 81. He's out on bail, yes. Yeah, right. Confirmed. Did you see him? That's the question. Have you seen this man? He's out on bail. You know, we all saw him on this Facebook Live video, which was crazy. Trucker Beetle Bailey. Hey, what's happening? I haven't seen you for a while. Good to see you out here. Thanks for being on. J.B. Hunt, Fort Wayne Intermodal does not pay 30-minute break. I can't believe J.B. Hunt pays for the break, but I guess, anything's possible anymore. That Piggly Wiggly video. Oh, my gosh. I mean, no wonder everything costs so much. How many times do you have to hit everything to get it in there? Holy moly. You're stuck waiting on a holiday to get a load. Yeah, good luck. I'm a sad panda. I'm going to ask about Layover. Oh, do they not pay you holiday pay at JB Hunt? What about that? You should be getting paid for the day anyway, right? Pride pays holiday pay today. Good. They should. Everybody should get. This is one of the federal holidays that you should certainly get paid for. Gardner Trucking pays for July 4th, Thanksgiving, and Christmas. You know what? You should go in if you're a veteran. And if not, some veteran ought to go in and say, why don't you pay for holidays that involve veterans? You should be able to drive 8 hours before doing 30, or will they make it earlier? No, I think they want to lock it right where it is. That's what it seemed like. Lock it up right now. You can't drive 8 hours because you have to do a pre-trip. So we're not quite driving 8 hours, right? What's up, Buttermilk? Al Johns, yeah, 1140 home daily dedicated guaranteed money at Pam. Look, that's probably 3 times what Pam normally pays. So I would say that's pretty good. They just pulled you off. The Appleton was loaded. What the heck is going on over there? It's not like they got a lot of other stuff going on. Hirschbach lease owner, what's going on? Getting that 99-cent fuel, love it. Can you explain why for the 30-minute break? No, I don't like the 30-minute break because they're not paid for it. Most people are not paid for it. And it's taken part of the 14-hour day. They just want to keep it in there. Probably some safety advocate wants it. It's a disaster, parking and stuff. And really, what if you don't need a break that day? Maybe you're still ready to drive. It's just crazy to mandate at some time somebody has to take a break. Hey, Sean, what's going on in Arizona? It's 150 degrees there is normal. Ryan, it's good to see you. How's flatbedding going? Trucker Beetle Bailey, you eating all that crawdads or whatever the heck those things were in that big pile I saw on Instagram. Kimberly, what's happening? Good to see you here today. Thanks for coming in on a holiday. First, last name. Hey, where do I work? Hey, I don't get that question very often, which is unusual. So, because I don't ever say where I work. All right. So for people that are new here or whatever, I don't say where I work because that keeps them out of my videos. And then I get to say whatever I want. And I don't also recruit for them. How many people out there? Oh my gosh, I just saw another guy this week. He's out recruiting for his company. But a few weeks ago, he was at a different company recruiting for them. All right. I don't do that. Let them do that. By the way, okay, today's the 27th. In 4 days, I will have 17 years at my company, which is unusual, and now I'm not the longest one there. So I don't say where I work, though. It keeps everybody out of everybody else's business, as they say. Nate's been having calls from JB Hunt. In the past, when you told the recruiter you have no interest, they go, and don't call me. He says, okay, I'll put you on the no-call list, and then he calls. They're never going to stop calling you. Just block their number. Mayhem, what's going on at the pilot? Hopefully not mayhem at a normal pilot. Is it better to get a CDL license at home? Yeah. With a company, if they fail to send me home and end up with school bill. It's true, right. Always do this stuff on your own if possible. Find ways to do it. You're better off taking a loan and going to just a private truck school than having a company pay for it because you're locked in and got all these problems. Get it yourself and then go to a place that'll reimburse you for the truck school rather than, being on a contract. The Piggly Wiggly video is a driver having a stroke. This is the guy backing into the trailers. That's what I was, right? Am I thinking of the right video here? As soon as you drop this, going to pick up another load and pick up the trainee in distress. I saw that earlier. What is going on over there? If you stop to take a break, you cannot count that as a break. Now, if I stop to take a break, I cannot count. Well, no. Okay, so 10 minutes, you would be able to add it in there, I suppose. But, I mean, it's really tough to get people squared away on this stuff as it is. Much less try to teach it, with, there's 3 10-minute breaks and all this. It's really hard to do. So that's what I'm saying. From the teaching end of it, the more complicated you make it, the harder it is to show people how to do it, and the more violations that companies have, and they don't like that. So I'm trying to make it as easy as possible for everybody, really. You're home for the weekend until tomorrow, Trucker Beetle Bailey. Good. Do you still have that? Is that nice truck parked in front of your house? Average miles at Hirschbach is 2,100. Not good for a lease operator. That wouldn't be good for a company driver either, really. Remember, contract rate is like undergarments. It changes. Well, look, I agree. Look, that Pam, because I think personally they took over Penske because Penske lost an account at the same place. The same thing could happen to Pam. Absolutely. They might be out of work also. But I'm saying for Pam, $1,100 something bucks for Pam on a guarantee is really, really good. Kimberly, exactly. Thank you. Right. I would happy here and want to stay that way. That's exactly correct. From San Antonio to Chicago, $275 a mile. Nice. With W2 Logistics, that's pretty good. Right. See, it's funny how, some people out there not making any money, and then some people, $275, that's really good. European breaks are 45 minutes every 4.5 hours. What the heck? There are slight variations that breaks are unpaid. Nice. They probably like here, right? The company could pay the break. They're just not required to pay it, so they don't pay it. But here, the company can pay your 30-minute break if they want to. They just don't. Most places don't, other than hourly. You work for a mail carrier and get paid every government holiday. You should, and good. But the ones that I see advertised around here, and I don't know about yours, they don't pay overtime. Arizona's beautiful today. The colder it gets here, the more beautiful Arizona gets. You take a 30-minute break while delivering, and then take a break during work hours, so you won't have to stop the truck. Well, you're not supposed to do that, of course. And really, what I think is if you have to take a break or, basically run your logs illegal, you're not being paid enough money. Let's be honest about it. They should pay you enough money so that you can do these things and still make a good living. You do that because there's so much unpaid time, and that's what needs to end in the industry. All the unpaid time has to end. It should end now, today. Oh, it's only 68 there? Heck, it's warmer than that here. Off-road this week got to be in office. Things are changing. We're growing. Well, that's good. So you're doing office work now? You're becoming a dispatcher? Uh-oh. What do I think about the Teamster Union? I love them, right? Reducing earned income pension. Look, pension, it's still more than most drivers get. And then talk about the union being broke. Well, that's possible. It's certainly possible. Any place could. A pension that is more than most drivers don't even get a pension. And a union, you're still going to come out ahead. You probably make more money, and most of your hours are paid. 145 people today. Yes, I'm surprised still, Horse. I didn't know if there'd be hardly anybody here today. So that's good. And thank you, everybody, for coming in on a holiday of all things. Hirschbach, 17 years. Yes, thank you very much. 17 years at one place. And so it's a good place, but I get paid for my time. And they treat you well because, some of you probably saw the video yesterday. I just get so frustrated with people writing to me about how, you talked about this is a great place. Okay, like KLLM. You sit 3 hours and then make $10 an hour. That isn't great. It may work for you, but that doesn't work for me. $10 an hour doesn't work for anything. So that isn't great, and that's not acceptable. That kind of thing. Drivers have come to accept that in the industry because they get new people and they say, this is how it is. That's trucking. I see a lot of people say, that's just trucking. No, that's your trucking, right? Everybody should be paid for their time. That's all I'm saying. Get paid. And so a place that has all this unpaid time, they're not great. You should get paid. Today, you should be getting paid. You really should. It's a federal holiday. There's no reason for a company not to pay you. It should be one of the paid holidays. Thanks, Steel Horse. I appreciate it. GSXR, greetings from Texas. Hey, what's going on in Texas today? Adco, thank you. Yeah. Oh, I wish they would give me a trophy. You know what I'll get for that? Nothing. So there you go. I'll probably get an email later this week that is sent by a computer. Believe me. Dear driver, insert driver name here. That's about all they do for you. So what's going on, King Sosa? You're on your lunch break, but lucky today that the scales. Oh, well, that's one benefit of a holiday. Nothing's open. So you can run all the way across the country, basically, and not hit a scale. CBD oil, yes or no? No. I say no. People, I know that in 10 minutes I'm going to start getting emails about that. Mark, I take it all the time. Look, it's risky. The stuff you buy at the gas station from the guy that sells sushi and that's been on the box for 3 days there, I'm just not into it. So if you test positive, you're finished. You are totally finished. So I'm a no on it. I'm just a no on it. You're taking a big risk. I know people take it and back. So I'm just going to keep going. I may be still online. You say where you work, nobody even wants to work for guaranteed $1,600. I know they don't. Look, where I work, we do the same thing a lot, and we can't get people doing that either. So do I do dry van? I do. I'm paid hourly plus mileage plus I have a guarantee every week as well, so that if I fall under that, I get paid. And like I broke down a couple weeks ago, that paid immediately. They towed a truck out to me. They rented a truck on a late Friday night and had it towed to me and towed my truck away. Okay, so that's how they work here. CBD oil will get you in trouble. Same show's been non-THC will mess that test up. I don't know, Ryan. Oh, look, I'm not risking it. I tell people not to risk it. This is your job. You take a one test and they're positive and you're working for Western Express for the next 10 years. Okay, nobody wants that. Trucker Daddy, thanks for your work. How do we convince employers to pay us by the hour? We just have to not tolerate not being paid by the hour. I think that's the only way to do it. Too many times that we sit, and somebody said Stockholm Syndrome, which I think is really good, right? That they've just brainwashed everybody to think that all this time shouldn't be paid. It should be. It's not radical. I mean, people have their kids are going to McDonald's or whatever to get their first job. They're going to get paid all the time. Why shouldn't drivers? If your kid came home and said, oh, I start at 9, but they don't pay us till noon, you'd say, get out of there. It's crazy. Why do we tolerate it? JB has forced dispatch. That's true. You wouldn't work for those jokers if they were the last trucking company. Most companies have forced dispatch. Let's be honest about that. I know good companies, Watt and Stewart. I never heard of them. San Angelo. How big could they be? Isn't 60 for team really low? It's not super great. If you have experience and the two of you come together, you can do really good. That's super money as a team, husband, wife, or the two of you come together. A lot of money. Everyone there got to go home for the holiday if they wanted to. That's good. And that's why that's a better place to be. So you get to be home and you get to be paid. I mean, that is great. And then there are people sitting at a truck stop working, basically, not getting paid anything. That's crazy. The other day, we were at a truck stop, and this Cadence Logistics truck pulls up next to me and tells me his first week driving. Congratulations. They leased him a truck. All right. He's trucking. That guy's big deal trucking right there. Sometimes you could feel like you drive your entire clock. Right. So it should be up to you, right? I don't want you to have to waste that 30 minutes for no reason. Oh, you get to take that truck home. Sweet. I'd sit that truck out front. That'd be great. Thanks for telling you it's okay to go to CFI or night. Well, yeah, right. I like night better. CFI has the cell phone holders. It's okay to start there, right? And if you don't like it, get some experience and boot the heck out of there. Everybody is waiting for you once you get experience. Her trainer constantly abused her and almost to the physical point. That's crazy. They got her off of there and going to put her on your truck. Going to get a 3 bunk. Why don't they fire the trainer completely from the whole company, right? GM PAM account has 24-hour time and a half over 40 as well as guaranteed 1140 since GM shuts down. That's right. I did see that too. Okay, so GM, all these automotive plants shut down in the summer and then in the winter time. God, no, I got 3 miles from my house down here, Subaru. Okay, so they shut down, and I saw that Pam is going to pay people the $11.40 for the shutdown. So you're going to be home and get $11.40. I mean, for Pam, come on, folks. They have drivers that are going to work that week and make $500. So that's really something for Pam. Maybe they have to get the contract at GM or whatever. You got a band going from TA at Dallas, TA, much violence, exit 472. I don't know. I haven't been out there in a while. You're enjoying a nice holiday off because you don't have the seniority to get triple time. Well, look, enjoy the time off. How's the CFI phone holder doing? It's holding up. It's the best phone holder I've ever had. I mean, I encourage everyone to go there at least to get their phone holder. They're the only company in the United States that I know of currently that's offering a phone holder. If there's a company watching that has phone holders, I do have a P.O. box that they could send those to for testing, and we can get those on the channel. You pull the truck stop at the fuel line, go to the bathroom, wait in line at McDonald's. By the time you get back, you'll have to wait 5 minutes to complete the 30-minute ride. And you'll have to wait behind the guy in front of you who's pulled in front of the thing, and he's doing his 30-minute break. So, yeah, exactly. Have I done a video on my company? No. Contract accounts change pay with the freight costs. Exactly. So, right. So, maybe next year, I can't imagine it going down. Maybe it would go up if they have a contract or something. I thought $11.40 from Pam, including the week off, which I forgot about. The week off in July and December is also paid. 101 in Georgia. All right. Your being breaks sound interesting. That's, oh my gosh, can you imagine taking 2 45-minute breaks a day or 3? We're often still responsible for the truck during a break and not really off. In Canada anyway, yeah, it's the same here. You're not really off. They're just letting you be off. Well, you got to hang around the truck. It's not like you can go somewhere. Adam is a new subscriber. Oh, thank you for being here and subscribing. I appreciate it. We are going to, where did I go off to here? I lost my spot naturally. I lose my spot all the time for new people. Do I know anything about Pride? Not a lot about him, right? Cory Booker wants to push for the better pay. What does he want to do? Okay, Cory Booker, what does he want to do for better pay? Because there's not really anything that he could do about it. You're stopping for lunch. Good. Thanks for all the great information. I appreciate it. Thank you very much for being here today, especially today. CBC Isolate is okay. No full spectrum. I'm not messing with it. For me, it's a no-go. No way. I'm not risking it. You're going to work at Western Express for 10 years if you go positive. 10-minute break when you first get to shipper. Who stays on the clock? Will they take hours to unload? Well, you're supposed to be on the clock unless you're in the sleeper. The stream stopped. I did see that, right? Your driving record is too important. Click my buttons. There's no buttons to click. It's coming back, right? Scale in North Carolina. What are they doing open today? Work in a warehouse for Teamsters 5.5 years, only getting 2 days a week. Time for you to leave. That's not good. So what are we going to do about it? More like human trafficking. Almost. Yeah, nearly right. You're a flatbed with Western and you get paid good. Western Express is known to be a second chance company. You have problems, felonies. Yeah, a few, 3, 4, 6 felonies. They'll still take you. And from what I've seen, their pay is not great. So, I don't know what to say about that. You can decline loads at Smith. Are they full? So they are probably still forced dispatch, but they'll let you decline a load, that kind of thing. You'd settle for a pat in the back instead of a trophy. Yeah, I'd take anything. We're going to start getting paid to sweep out trailers. Nice, because everybody started taking the truck wash and say, oh, it needs a washout. Right, it needs to have a washout. So now they're going to pay you to sweep. That'll be one of the first places that pays that too. They should allow us to use the 14 hours. They could eliminate that 30-minute break. That would help. You don't mind getting paid by the mile as long as the company answers the phone. Look, if they'll answer your phone, that's all that matters. It doesn't matter if you sit 6 hours. When you call them and they pick it up, hey, that's what matters. I get people that write to me that say that. It's the most incredible thing. Can you help us create a pamphlet distribute to the boss? I'm paying by the hour. Something structured without being labeled as whining. Go in there and say, look, I need to be paid for all my time. It doesn't have to pay by the hour. But all your time should be paid. Like I know Old Dominion is mileage. Plus they get paid to fuel a truck. Plus they get so much to disconnect the doubles. And they get, so each thing pays. But then it comes out their entire day is paid. That kind of thing can work as well. Scales are closed on the holidays. Yeah, right. I mean, mostly the scales are closed. To see one open, I'd be really surprised. What are the unintended consequences of paying drivers what they're worth? Drivers will be happier. There'll be less turnover. Boy, there's a lot of unintended consequences. Charles says, Happy Memorial Day. Yes, thanks for being here. Joseph from Missouri, thanks for coming in today. Scary when the truck stop is full, but the announcer's no wait. Well, hey, look, if you're at the truck stop, today's shower day. Right. What do you know about Amazon taking over trucking? I heard that they're going to basically be taking over trucking, really. The insurance requirements are too high. Oh, that's interesting. Maybe younger people. They won't have younger people, right? You're beginning back at 15, got to get your roller wieners. Okay, we'll see in a few minutes. And pens. Are you going to steal the pens from the desk there? Pam is owned by Central Transport out of Detroit. Pam is not owned by them, are they? You'll see the trucks at Fort Wayne. GM only works 42 weeks a year. Oh, and they're paying for all those weeks? No way. That truck plant, that's the pickup truck plant up there to make Silverados. They can't keep them things going fast enough. The only thing that is all right with JB Hunt is the Easy Pass. And that at least they have one good thing. Since when is Pam owned by Central Transport? And that is sad. My company gives us electric leaf blowers. They actually give it to you, and that's awesome. When I worked for CRST, you know what? I rather they gave you pay. When I worked with CRST, they paid you to sweep out the trailer. That's unusual. I bet they don't pay that anymore. This electric leaf blower, you know, you should go ask them, why don't you just pay me to sweep out the trailer? And of course, you're sweeping it out on duty, of course, right? Oh, Tina, thank you very much. I appreciate it. What's my opinion on trucking companies enforcing service failures? I think it adds more stress. Enforcing a service failure. What are they doing by enforcing it? When they say enforcing, what does that mean? What are they doing to about it? What is this Amazon talk? There's talk that Amazon is going to crush everybody. Hey, Mirvo. Hey, what's going on in Canada today? Are they still working up there? Let's see. Do they pay? They pay us. They should pay people to sweep that out. Certainly. I try taking a shower every day, but sometimes it's not available. Look, if you get them most days, you're doing better than most drivers. If you're delivering to the flooded area through July 2nd for direct support or relief of the Midwest flooding, you have through July 2nd to not follow the hours of service regulations, which I thought was pretty interesting. So they're extending that for Midwest, but you have to be, what does it say? In direct support of the relief for the Midwest flooding. You're delivering something for the flooded areas. Then you have through July 2nd, you don't have to follow the logs. Logs. You are exempt from hours of service. I thought that was pretty good. Ace Hardware pays for all your time. Yeah, I always encourage people to try to find a private carrier if they can as well, because you're more likely to get paid for your time. Are there any Ace Hardware stores that are still open? That's the thing. Are you the only truck that's left there? I'm not sure. If they require a 30-minute break, there's not that many. Why not increase the workday to 14 and a half hours? I don't like that either. Haven't we all had an 8.5-hour workday because the company doesn't pay for lunch? Well, right, they increase it for that, but then you actually get the time off. I see the 30 minutes as you're still working. You're still responsible for the truck. You know, you're still responsible. So I don't want the day increased anymore. I don't want my day to be any longer than it already is. Your company reimburses for showers. Oh, so if you have to pay for a shower, they pay for it. Do they pay for parking too then? Will they reimburse on parking? Al, it's family time. We're your family here. But thanks for coming in. I'll see you next Monday. If it falls under truck equipment along the side of the fridge, microwave, and 2,000 watt. Okay. I wonder if they make you sign for it. Use a wireless blower to blow out your trailer. I bought it myself. What's a wireless blower? So the blower's in the trailer and you control it from your phone? Michael, hey, what's going on? Thanks for coming in today. A GM works 46 weeks a year. So they're off 6 weeks? I wonder if Pam will pay all 6 of those weeks. All the flooding in the Midwest is a massive road flooded. Yeah, houses and businesses are underwater, right? And so they extended the hours of service to July 2nd. You do not have to follow the hours of service if you're bringing something for the flooded area, not just everybody driving through it. But I know a lot of people get involved with those kind of loads, so you get to you can run maybe more loads that way because they want your stuff to be brought up there. There's an Ace Hardware in Salisbury, Pennsylvania. I'm just saying there's not that many left. Since I've been around a minute, thank you. When do I estimate respect became a foreign concept? When do we become the stepchild? I mean, look, I remember, looking back on it now, that starting, I didn't get paid for deadhead miles when I got percentage on flatbed. So I think it went out the window. I think it went out the window when the Teamsters Union was basically demolished after deregulation, because, I don't like the government holding everybody's pay. I don't like that part of it. But that's when drivers were respected as professionals. And now they're not. And so they had all these large companies start up who will basically take anybody in that walks through the door and make them a driver. And so there's no respect. There's no, you have to have standards for your people to get them respected. Michael enjoys the channel. Thank you very much. I appreciate it. Oh, they pay for parking too. So that place pays for everything. And now with the sweeping out, I mean, holy mackerel. So they'll park you and shower you because, come on, people, get a shower. Your company has unlimited free showers with Loves, which is nice. Every month you get 60 credits. That's good too. So they're basically giving you free showers. That's good to, it's good to hear that companies are doing that. Some companies could care less. They'll let you sit 4 days and not give you anything for not even really any money, much less showers. 69 in Missouri was blocked when you came through. I know it's been a mess out on that side of the world, certainly. How's it going, J-Man? What's going on? Cash is King Trucking. There he is. He had to go count all the money and put it away in the safe first. Thanks for being here. Oh, battery-operated blower. Oh, not wireless. Okay. Scales are open in California. When do they ever close? Michael, 30 years and recently sort of retired. Yeah, time to get out and relax. Central States acquired PAM back in 90 when the owners sold 52%. Oh, okay. I see what you're saying. They own a controlling interest in PAM. There's an Ace Hardware distribution center in Colorado Springs. I didn't know there's that many of them left. I think there's one here in town, but I don't know if you'd get a full semi into it. It's really small. Britain Transport. I do like Britain, right? Transport. Trucker Beetle Bailey. Do they play him to blow out the trailer? That's a good question, right? I don't think he has to blow too many of his trailers out. If a driver's late, carriers will deem it as failed service, even though the load still got there that day. Intact. Correct. Drivers make a big deal saying how it's going to affect everybody's pay. The question, though, does it affect you in any way other than he doesn't like it? I'd say, well, that's too bad for you. How does it affect you? That's the question. DOT level inspection random in California. Oh, so they're doing inspections today too? Really? They can't give you the day off for inspections. Tina, the topic today, we're talking about the, as it goes off the rails here, the 30-minute break may stay forever. The government, in its wisdom, in the HUD appropriations bill, the Housing and Urban Development, in Section 135 says that they will prohibit the FMCSA from eliminating the 30-minute break. Prohibit it. That means that we'll stay forever no matter what the law changes to. It'll be required to stay. Not a fan. I'm also talking about this Colorado crash truck driver who did a live Facebook video thanking everybody that gave him money while ignoring all the people that he killed, really. My company doesn't pay attention if the load is late, driver's fault or not. Oh, tell them, well, that's your problem. When it isn't my fault, why shouldn't I be paid to sit there? You carry a sawzall for cutting things like tire, boots, and locks. That became inoperable, or people who can't get the locks off. So you could make a little side money doing that. J-Man, I appreciate that very much. Frederick, yes, battery, of course, right. But you said wireless, which I thought was interesting. Do they still get that quarantine? Yeah, you still need your spotted lanternfly permit in Pennsylvania if you're going into certain counties. I don't know exactly what those counties are. Michael James, thank you very much for that. I appreciate it. Do you have your spotted lanternfly permit? That's the question. Only one person at your company has to get it, and then they can train everybody else. So be sure to put your sticker on. Tina thanks the service to all the veterans. We appreciate that. Thank you. And we're all today, of course, thinking of all the veterans that didn't make it back, that were killed in service. That's why we're here today on Memorial Day, and that's why we get to do this show. Because somebody asked me once a few years ago about, what do you think about all the sales that go on that day, and isn't that disrespectful? But I don't think so. I think that, no, that's why people go. That's why we serve, so people can do whatever they want. That's what freedom is. We can't demand that people do certain things and say everybody's here for freedom. So people want to sell mattresses or whatever today, have at it. They're free to do it, and I love it. You want to talk about small? JB Hunt is a contract with Dollar General. We just shove 50-foot trailer in their tiny parking lots, right? And then unload the trailer too. Why is the 30-minute break stupid? We all know we can grab something to eat and take a couple breaks at the right time and still be just fine. Don't need a break. Yeah, the mandated break is stupid. I don't like it. Where they say you must stop at this time and take a 30-minute break, whether you're tired or not. That's crazy. What if you're not tired? What if you don't want to stop right then? We saw Brake Check Week, which is on here, June 4th to 6th, which is the 72-hour crackdown, which is June 4th to 6th. They are focusing on steering and suspension components this year. That'll be in a little over a week, so get your steering and suspension components up to spec, as they say. Big Huge Mike is here. Thanks for coming in. Pride 100 layover pay at, where did I go here? After 24 hours, but I've gotten partials as well. So you got to sit a day with nothing. I'm not a fan of that. See, anytime that you sit without pay, I'm no fan of that. If they don't have you a load, that's not your fault. You're a company driver. They need either to get you a load to make you money or pay you. So this, and $100, what is $100? So I would sit 48 hours and get $100. That's not great. I'm not impressed by that. That's a guy, though, that's part of the England family. So, I got to expect that. What are they looking on the 72-hour crackdown? That crackdown is going to be steering and suspension components this year. They'll do a full inspection, but that's what they're going to be looking for. J-Man, happy Memorial Day, especially to veterans. Thank you for that. Caleb, sorry, late. What's the topic? We're keeping the 30-minute break. It looks like it if this passes, if the HUD appropriations bill passes. Describe an experience at the scale. Yeah, I haven't had any really bad experiences at a scale. Any companies hiring rookies, been at Swift for 6 months? Hey, at Swift, you're almost the CEO there already. 6 months experience you're talking about. No sticker, just a form to keep you with the truck. Do people just put this sticker on their trucks? I've seen the stickers. Your trucks have the spotted lantern fly sticker. It's in the, yeah, right. I've seen the sticker on trucks. There's a sticker. I think it's 4 or 5 of them, right? There's a sticker. Ask your company if that sticker is right for you. No pay for sweeping trailers, but company pays by week off the gross revenue of the truck. Haven't had any issues with money. Good. I'm always concerned about that. I never like percentage personally because I don't know if I'm getting hosed. I don't know, You just never know. Have I ever gone around a scale? Yeah, I've done that. I have gone around scales. I want people to follow the rules, but I'm not saying, I've always completely 100 followed the rules and you should do that. I'm not saying that. I've gone around scales. I've had 2 logs, but, I don't think it's a good idea. Wouldn't it be better to work half of that amount of time and make the same money at a company that pays you for all your time? I think that's a better plan. It's your birthday on June 5th. Oh, it's over your birthday on June 5th. Well, maybe they will give you a pass because it's your birthday if they pull you in somewhere. Florida scales never close. Those ag inspection things always seem to be open all the time. Do I get quarterly company bonuses? That's okay. Stuck in Phoenix, Arizona. Glad to be watching. I'm glad that you're here too. Thank you. Oh, James Faust. Well, look, go get some rest, and thanks for being here. I appreciate you coming in, and take it easy, and we'll see you on Monday. TJ Jones and the Bull of the Woods. What's up happening? Misty, that's 100 at 24. Okay, so one day $100. All right, I still don't think that's great money. That's better. At least you get something. But, I think you should get a day's pay. Whatever you earn a day, that's what they should give you as a day's pay for not having anything for you to do. I think they'd be better. How about $250? Like Newspawn, you'd get $250 for that same day. I think that's a better plan, personally. And it's their fault, okay? And plus, if they had to pay you that, they'd be more encouraged to get you money. If you set a couple of days for $200, what is that? That's less than Uber money. Go tanker, you be paid for everything? I don't know, do you? Britain Transport, you made $62,000 first full year. All right, that's cruising, right? Not great, but not totally bad. It isn't totally bad. Look, some places pay nothing. We got to give them that. Okay, some places don't give you anything. I've seen places that after 2 days, they give you like $50. So $100 a day for 24 hours is not great. And if they'll give you a partial, so you get $75 after 18 hours, but that's still $75 for the day or $100. That's not wonderful. I think if you're out a day, you should earn a day's pay. If they can't give you work, then they shouldn't hire so many people. They'll be looking for seatbelts. Yeah, don't they? They always look for that, right? Of course, everybody should wear their seatbelt as usual. These are the counties. Good. Somebody listed the counties that have this quarantine. Not night riders here from the pool. Wow. Won't be at the pool today, certainly. All right. This guy won the 500. Exactly. Trimac, Super Cares. They do pay a lot of stuff at Trimac. I like them. If there's one near you. What does housing and urban development have to do with you taking a break? I was wondering who's going to notice that. I have no idea. It's in the HUD annual appropriations bill, their annual bill where they appropriate all their money for housing and urban development. It's in there. Section 135 will prohibit the FMCSA from eliminating the 30-minute break. Okay, so exactly. What's it have to do with it? Nothing. But it's in there. Almost a CEO at Swift in 6 months. I mean, holy mackerel. Yeah, I mean, come on. Big, huge Mike missed the good stuff. Well, the whole show's good. Let's say that. What's this about having to keep the break? Yeah, it looks like we're going to keep it, as I'm saying. Truckers need to unionize or follow and be treated like sheep. That does seem to be one of the ways to get paid. That sticker is right for us. Oh, you do have your lantern fly sticker on there? So you asked, and it was right for you. Just had an Italian beef and gyro. I'm going to say that so it'll get people mad. At the joint behind the TN80. Roger Penske, what are you doing way over here? Of course, 80 is pretty big, I should say. Which companies for all your time? Call Callie. I've been on a major year at the scales. Always wash your truck, right? I always did that. Always better to follow the rules. You should. Look, I'm not some kind of saint that says, oh, I've always followed the rules and so you people are all bad that don't. That's not what I'm saying. Okay, it just seems to me, looking back at it, that running 3 logbooks and driving 1,800 miles straight is not a good plan. That, working around the industry and saying, oh, I can go here and I'll get paid for all my time so I don't have to work near as much and still make the same money. Okay, I'm in. So that seems to be like a better plan. These companies that get away with not paying people, they should all close. Do you need the lanternfly sticker to drive through those counties? You have to be trained in spotted lanternfly preservation or what it is. I don't know what it is. Somebody's going to tell me what that is. You need some kind of thing to go through there. Your company pays $60 per hour. Not to drive through, though. I think if you stop there, somebody's going to tell me who's been properly trained in spotted and lanternfly research. Your company pays $60 an hour detention after an hour. That's pretty good. All right, that's really good. Billy, what's going on? How glad that you are here. Thanks for coming in. What's up? I'm going to say Diggs. How about that? We'll go with that. I don't want to mess up your name. Misty, right? Agrees. No sheep. Exactly right. Look, part of it is people just not tolerating not being paid. When a company says I've seen this. You wait 2 days and then get $50 a day. Okay, that has to be unacceptable. That just has to be unacceptable. That's not like, oh, okay, after 2 days, then I get $50. So after 3 total days, you get 50. That's crazy. LTI gives you 50 for layover. That's 150. That's still not bad, but that's probably less than a day's pay. I'm not asking that you should get $600 or something. I'm saying that whatever you make a day, if they can't give you work, you shouldn't be out because they don't give you any work. They're the ones keeping you out. If you were at a factory and had to sit there, you'd still be on the clock because they don't have anything to do. Or they let you go home. So the company can either send you home or pay you. That's all I'm saying. A day's pay. Whatever you make a day. Good afternoon and happy Memorial Day to you, Kenworth Rider. Thank you for coming in. Mark, can I host a Doing It Better video on Univar? What the heck is that? And the other 85,000 per year tanker companies. I don't do too many tankers. I've never even actually heard of Univar. Where are they from? I haven't run a tanker in quite some time. I've been told in VA you could be ticketed for excessive use of Jake. Have I heard anything? What is excessive? I mean, there shouldn't ever be a ticket on any interstate for Jake brake. But what otherwise would be excessive? I mean, who says that? Billy Gaines, hey, you got a shout out. You got it. Going right out there. Steel Horse, you can make 100 out here. Yes, I totally agree. You can make 100. You are totally right. And a place like yours that's paying for showers and doing all this, they're also going to pay good. You know, a company that pays for showers and pays for parking, they're probably a company that pays better too. They're not going to give you 14 cents a mile and pay for your showers. So there's part of that too. Can you make 100? Absolutely, you absolutely can. Because people do ask that a lot. Can you make 100,000? Yeah, you can. You're still in rookie status, but starting to look for better. Yeah, now's the time to get started because it takes time to find a place. So don't just jump to the next place. Find a place that you want to stay at. Trucker Beetle Bailey makes $228.57 a day every week at your company you work for called Right Tech. Exactly. They pay you. So a lot of your time is downtime though, but you get $227.57 and a lot of days you don't even drive and you got like a super fancy truck. You'll check with the safety guy for that sticker. I don't know if you need the sticker. Somebody needs to tell me that. Got a new pre-plan at least sending you to Pennsylvania. Is it more or less miles? That's the question. And where are you going to pick a load up today? Do they have a load sitting somewhere? Yeah, your salary is $1,600. Yeah, I mean, you have to be on salary because of how much sitting you do, right? Because if you got mileage, they'd have to get $2 a mile or whatever. Can you do a review on Garrison? I never heard of them either. Where are all these places coming from? Where's the barbecue? I don't know. Hopefully somebody said they drove by, but then they didn't stop. Billy Gaines, you're getting shouted out. Now we're being annoyed with you. $228 doesn't make sense if your salary's $1,600. What is my healthy tips on food to eat? Protein, right? Low carb, high protein. Basically, the Atkins diet, a modified Atkins diet. That's what I'm saying. And I'm going to do a video soon on like a grocery haul type of video, and we'll put that out on a weekend. Here's a grocery haul for the week. Those riders on bills should be illegal. Single issue bills should be the law. What's an addendum? Oh yeah, okay, on this HUD appropriations bill. This kind of garbage is garbage. Okay, so this is an appropriations bill for the Housing and Urban Development Department where they pay all their bills for the year. And this is not the only thing. Section 135, where they stick on here that they're going to prohibit the elimination of a 30-minute break. It has nothing to do with anything. Every bill should be voted on individually because this bill's probably 1,000 pages. I don't know. Nobody's going to read all of it, and it might pass just because of that. Nobody even reads it. It's just stuck in there. I happened to hear it on landline yesterday when we were traveling. I had it on in the car, and they run a rerun on the weekends and heard it and thought, holy mackerel, what the heck is this? Or I would have never even heard about it either. So we'll give a shout out to Landline now on XM Radio. Lanternflies are invasive. If you're in, you can kill as many and make sure no live ones or eggs are stuck on you. Okay, so there's some kind of training for that. You get your permit through the Pennsylvania Ag Department. Several companies pay for everything, but you have to find them. Most don't advertise. They don't hire that much either. The spotted lanternfly is brain dead stuff. Basically, you see their eggs, destroy them with alcohol. Holy mackerel. There's a reefer company in Iowa called Schuster. They pay $200 a day. That's better. That's much better. Most private fleets are better than third party. Look, these over-the-road general freight has got to be the hardest thing to do, where you don't know what you're doing. I mean, that's got to be the toughest way to make a living. It is. People doing it out there, really shout outs to everybody for doing that. I told our main office there's no sticker required, just having a permit. They were told you, okay, that might be, I don't know. I have seen the trucks with the sticker on them. Univar is a company that blends chemicals. All right, so we know we're going to have a hazmat. Delivered to one in Cincinnati and one in Louisiana. Is that down by all the rest of the oil stuff, BP and all that down there? Plus forms to fill out to show you did an inspection before you leave the quarantine area. Oh, my God. We get paid to fill all these stupid forms out? I passed a sign earlier that said a no aggressive jake braking. Really? What is aggressive? I mean, it's just like, oh, I'm jaking, braking. I mean, what do they mean by that? Mine pays 18 an hour after 2, but it's subjective. It should never be subjective. You know, that's companies that say we paid it, we get it or whatever. No, there should be some kind of policy. This is how you get paid. That way you can determine if you want to work there. In order for the truckers to get paid in full, right to work laws will have to change. I find it ironic mega carriers are all right to work. Oh, yeah, they do that on purpose, but you don't have to accept that. You know, you do not have to accept their pay. No kudos for winning the Indy 500. Yeah, I saw that, Roger Penske, that you did win again. And what, 2 in a row also, which was unusual too. The last time somebody did that has been some time. So 2 in a row and a bunch of Indy 500 wins. I thought that was excellent. I'm surprised to see you here today. You'd think you'd be busy signing autographs and stuff and putting up that trophy and washing the milk off yourself. Your company pays for your parking and showers. They said to turn in anything trucking related. I guess that's trucking related. There's not that many places paying for showers, certainly. Some are starting to pay for parking. The state police enforced this goofy sticker thing in Pennsylvania. I love it. Your company also reimburses for drivers who have their wheels polished. Really? They reimburse for polished wheels? And you're just saying the salary doesn't make sense. It makes $220. Yeah, right. Well, let's see what he says, right? Joseph, and there's somebody else here, Diggs, wrote that as well, right? For new people, right, I don't say where I work. Keeps them out of my videos, and I don't recruit for them either. So, as so many do on here. But that keeps them over wherever they are, and it keeps me doing videos, and they don't get to have a say in it. So, I just never say where I work. It keeps everything cleaner. Does anyone know anything about Lily Transportation? Sounds flowery. DOT and I don't know anything about it. DOT and HUD are packaged in the same appropriations. It's called THUD. Yeah. My company gave you a sticker and a brochure and told you were legal. That's their training, because the person in your company trains them, right? Lanternflies lay their eggs on metal, hence the truck driver looking for them. Look, if it's a problem and they don't want them spreading, I guess whatever the law is, we have to comply with it, certainly. What's the best company to start at? That's funny. I just talked about that not that long ago. The best company. It has to be the best company for you. A lot of different things go. There's not just one certain best company. I don't want to be able to tell where you can't do. Yeah, think exactly, Big Huge Mike. That's exactly correct, right? They don't have a say in my videos. They may be friends with the company that I don't like or something. And they go, hey, cut that out. Okay, so Kim says there's no sticker required. You have an orange tag that you hang on your windshield, kind of like a handicap tag. You can just have a regular paper copy faxed to you as long as you have the permit. I'd probably put the sticker just so they didn't bother me if there was one. You work for Lily. All right. What do you think about it over there? The downshifty Jaker. Yeah, I mean, how aggressive can you be with a... What exactly does aggressive mean? What kind of law is that? Where'd you see this goofy sign? You'll use your brake, Jake, anytime you feel the need. I think if it's a safety thing, you should be able to use it. I mean, who are they to say aggressive? What is aggressive? Listen, I'm going to Jake brake all over this place. A lot of places have inch and braking prohibited signs with max fine. There shouldn't be any on the interstate. That's always been my opinion. It's the interstate. When do I want to give you some head now? Yeah, let's see. What do you think about the place? Univar is a chemical producer and blender based out of a suburb of Chicago, and they bought out Nexio. So melt and pay showers and parking too. That's good. Finally, some places are starting to pay this stuff. There's so much parking that's paid. I think the company should pay to park their truck there. They keep telling us, oh, it's their truck, not our truck. All right, then you pay to park your truck. Truck stops should be ashamed of themselves for charging drivers to park. Reserve needs to go. I mean, look, it's America. So if there's a need that they can fill, they charge. Otherwise, we could say, well, restaurants should be ashamed to charge people that are hungry to eat because people need to eat. I mean, I don't know about that. It's a private lot. It's a private business. They own the property. I mean, for years, Ontario, I don't know if they still do this. Those two TAs that are across the street from each other, you have to pay to get in the lot. Every spot is paid parking. So they still doing that out there? I mean, and that's been ever since I've been driving. That's been paid. The Detroiter in outside Detroit, ironically, which is a J now, right? That's paid parking, the whole lot. There's tons of all these lots that have been like this for a long time. It's not some kind of new thing that just came up now. Thanks for answering. Most YouTubers can't give me that much. Hey, I'm happy. Anybody that wants to email me, I'm happy to answer your emails. Just send it, and you will get a response from me or a member of my staff, which is me. They have a Whole Foods dedicated in Aurora. 16 tons out of control downhill slope, but Jakes aren't being aggressive. Look, maybe that guy in the Colorado crash who's out on bail should have used his Jake brake. I don't know. Because you couldn't really tell from the video, but seems like his Jake was on. You're being inspected by the DOT 3 times this month, and the 72-hour brake inspection, it's not here yet. You have to keep the truck nice and clean. Yeah, good luck. Keep it clean. Oh, right, for inspection day, too. Look, if you pass an inspection, be sure that they give you the sticker for your windshield. With that sticker, you're supposed to be good for 90 days. Supposed to be. You ignore the signs because your exhaust has a muffler. It's quiet. My Cascade, it comes out under the truck. I don't even think you could tell it's working. Reverend Brian, this is Rocket Man Newsbaum pays attention at 15 after the first hour. Yes, they do, but they have a guaranteed minimum at Newsbaum. I've never heard a good thing out of Whole Foods account. Oh, that's not good. People keep talking about the Colorado driver. What about the driver that killed 4 in south of Atlanta? I wasn't able really to find that much about that. So what's the story with it? Jake Brake's son was on US 41 in Illinois. Really? Oh, when you were dodging the tolls? You said you didn't dodge all of them. So that's crazy. Aggressive. Okay, so 41 in Illinois. You went through and took 41 on the north side. That's all Waukegan and all those expensive neighborhoods up there. Right, they don't want filthy truck drivers up there in those $1 million houses. You thought truck stop parking was free? No. Truck stop, not everywhere. And there's been paid parking always. Always been paid parking. There's more of it now. I'll give you that. If you go out west, they ban them in some western mountain states, like Centennial Pass. No way. Who bans a Jake brake at Centennial Pass or whatever this is? They shouldn't ban one at all when you need it. It should be a safety issue by you, not some cop listening to it on the side of the road. Jake brake trucks are straight pipes or rattling the pipes in town. Yes, that's what the problem is. You got these 9-inch pipes and you're Jake braking in its 20-mile-an-hour zone. Come on. The same idiot. It's the same idiot in the truck stop. I totally agree. Right. Have you paid for asphalt lately? No. I don't know how much they actually enforce the Jake signs, considering anything else they have to worry about. Depends on what the cop wants to do. I mean, it's a way to pull you over, right? Parking fees are bad, and then San Diego, you paid. Sometimes you don't have any choice. There's always been paid parking, though. No one griped about it then, maybe because there wasn't as much of it. But it's private, so I can't go to a private business and say, you can't charge for this. They can charge for everything. If a driver needs a shower, should he just get a shower free because, the business says, oh, well, we can't charge this guy. He's dirty. No. They get to charge for whatever they want, and if nobody came in, they wouldn't be able to do it. That's the problem with it, right? But I don't think there's a way to say to a private business, that's not fair of you to charge. Why not? Why isn't it fair of them to charge? I mean, really? People don't want to pay it. Okay, I agree. You don't want to pay it, but I need a car. Can I get a car from the dealership? No. I go, well, but I need a car. You have to give me a car. I mean, it's kind of the same thing. It seems annoying, but I mean, that's just how it works in America. That's part of the freedom that we have today, right? The T in Commerce City is almost all paid parking. I think some of them are just going to completely, it'd be a lot easier if you paid at the gate than making all these spots paid, just the way Ontario does. Personally, you like to pay to park. If you're driving late, you could still pay by pre-planning my stop. As long as they'll reserve that spot, I thought it was a great idea. Why can't we reserve it? What's my email? I think that the email is on the screen. They need to make a bigger rest area. Your opinion about Lily? It's a good company, but lately management has been unprofessional. Depending on the account, the money is good. So look, you can be like Pam with this 1140 and paid breaks over there. They're good, and then the rest of the place is garbage, right? So you just never know about these places. John McCain is here. Oh, thank you. I appreciate it. If you need me to fill in, let you know. I will. You'll be the first one I call. HUD appropriations funds the DOT. All right. Well, that's why it's in that bill then. This annual HUD appropriations bill. I get pulled over in the Texas Panhandle for using your Jakes. Got a verbal warning, but you've got 8-inch straight pipe. So right. So we could hear that in Oklahoma. Exactly. Put your company on spot. You pay for parking, or you're forcing me to break my hours of service. Well, that's interesting way to do it, right? And say, hey, this is your truck, and so you need to pay to park. I think you have it better that they just pay. They're just a better place and says, all right, wherever you go, if you need to pay, we'll pay for it. And they just figure that in the rate. These companies should just figure that in the rate. We have to pay for parking, so our rate is more. I mean, make it easier for the driver, and everybody makes more money rather than you driving around and wasting another hour. You now have that hour to make you and them money too. The more you get to drive, the more money they make too. I mean, it's a wins for everybody. Hey Bill, what's going on? It's going great. You're taking the weekend off. Good. I'm glad to see that. It's because people don't understand about the Jake brake. You had to explain to your family multiple times. It uses the power of the engine to slow down. people don't understand it. All they do is hear it. But believe me, the people in northern Chicago don't want to hear that. Peterbilt 379 is here. It's good to see you. Do you think it will be a long time before I have to worry about electric trucks? Oh my God. Before they take anything over, those will be local trucks. And the companies that buy them will have money, and they'll have to have their own charging systems before we can recharge the gigantic battery it's going to take to run that thing around. Like we have some hybrid buses here, the diesel electrics here, and some are natural gas electric buses. But they have their own plug over there, and they run solar and a windmill over at the bus station. And that recharges the buses cheap, and that's how we get to ride the bus here for 75 cents. Lily's taken over in the Northeast, and you've been with them 5 years. So that's good. That you stay any length of time says something about the place. Considering everything else is an inflated price, plus $14 showers. Wow. I figured parking would at least be free, military discount, free meals for cops, $13 showers. Look, this is the problem, though, right? I mean, it's America. So they have a lot, and they can charge. So I got to support that they have the ability to charge. I don't want the government to say, hey, no charging for showers. Now, if you don't like them charging, I agree with you. You should write them and say, look, I don't appreciate you charging me for showers. If they got enough of those, or for parking, if they got enough of those letters, they would stop it. When people didn't come in, but they're not getting those letters. They're getting people to pay. And so that's, it's just like everything else. I need to go somewhere. Shouldn't the bus company take me for nothing? No. First 2 hours are free at the TA. Exactly. You got 2 hours free, but you come in the gate, get a ticket. You had to pay $50 at the shop or $20 in the store, 50 gallons, I think, of fuel. And then you could park for one night, but it's been paid there forever. About 10 years ago, they put a sticker on your window after a clean inspection and left you alone for the rest of the road check. Yeah, you still get those stickers, right? Wouldn't I jake at a truck stop, but you would well, at least you're not going to jake break that thing at the truck stop. I mean, that just annoys everybody, and nobody likes you doing it, really. So please don't jake break at the truck stop. Let everybody sleep, and turn your lights off when you park too. Wild Bill, hey, I didn't know if I'd see you today. Thank you for coming in. Thank you for being here. And that made me lose my place, of course. All right. Love reserve parking. It ensures you'll have a spot. I thought so, right? Isn't it? There's a benefit to it. You pay and you have a reserve spot, and then you have a place to park. So I think it can be a good thing, too. Most paid lots are free with fuel. Exactly. TA, you got enough material for a jake break regulations or response video. Exactly. Kids in small towns always want you to blow the horn, and you always feel bad. If there's really no reason not to, I'll honk a horn at them, right? Although on a Volvo, sometimes it's on the steering wheel. Gives free showers year round at Love's with the deal that they have at Rail. That's good. I didn't know these large companies did that, and that's a good benefit that they should announce. That should be a thing on there. Look, with us, you also get free showers everywhere at every Love's. I mean, come on. A Frenchman wins the Indy 500 in a Chevrolet. The last time a Frenchman won the Indy 500, driver's last name was Chevrolet. Okay, that reminds me. Fiat Chrysler, I wrote this down. It's going to merge with Renault. Because as a car nut, I wrote this down. I don't know if anybody cares. And I thought, is there a way for Fiat FCA, right, Fiat Chrysler, to make their cars less reliable? Now, let's merge with Renault. Okay, so I thought that was interesting. That's my take on the French cars. My account is good money for what you do. If I keep going the way I'm going, you'll make $78,000. That's very good, right? And the overnight drivers make $85 to $100. So there's another $100,000. Mostly it's $100 according to a few friends. Yeah, there are people making $100 in trucking. People always write, oh, that isn't possible. It is possible. If you're willing to do the right thing at the right company, $100 is possible, certainly. You kind of on the fence about paid parking, yeah, but I mean, what do you think? I mean, it's America. Stan, hello, Houston bound. Get your rag out to wipe the sweat off you. I think that's the worst city in America to live. You bought 75 gallons of fuel at the I-55 in Bolingbrook and got free parking. Okay, right. So you get to park for free because of your purchase. Exactly. You know that Ontario and that, though, it's been paid for many, many years. You remember that. The worst is when you have paid parking and all that's left is reserve parking. Well, because everybody takes all the free spots. But here's the thing, right? We got to convince your company then to pay for that parking. They banned the no resonators in Colorado. Does your car or pickup have a muffler? Yeah. There are people with just a pipe, and it's super loud, right? You're scaring mooses that are 50 miles away. That's meese is the plural. So they're scaring all the meese away, and that isn't any good. Come on. Anytime towing, what's going on? It's good to see you. Your little trucks don't take enough fuel to get free parking. Oh, dang it. But no complaints about those places yet. The benefit is the reserve part of it, though, right? If we can reserve a spot, okay, I can drive till 2 in the morning because that's the end of my hours. I know I'm going to get a spot. Otherwise, you have to park at 6 p.m. and hope you get a spot. I mean, that to me would be worth the $14 or whatever it is that they charge at some of these places. There's a TA in Tampa where you have to pay to get in the gate. That's not unusual. And then on top of that, there's more paid parking. Wow. So you pay to get in and pay for the parking. But usually the gate thing you can get around by buying $20 in there or 50 gallons of fuel. So usually, when you're coming up to that, like Ontario, you think, all right, I'm only going to get 50 gallons here because that's usually what the company would limit you to in California so that you knew, you'd sit there. But if you're going to be there for a day, eating, and then you get supper, and then you'll get breakfast, and then maybe you get one of those masks or Viking horns or something that you're going to get in there, chain mail. That gets you over the amount that you need to get free parking. Paid parking has always been around. That's true. It's the same place as increasing more paid reserve spots is a new issue. Greedy. Is it greedy? I mean, when is it greedy and when is it business? I mean, as drivers, we want to get paid for all of our time, and we should get paid for all of our time. But now, am I being greedy because I want to get paid for all my time? Well, I don't know. I don't think so. So they want to get paid the maximum amount also. We want to get paid the max, but we don't want to pay anything to anybody else. That's the problem. If we want to get paid it, we got to pay it out. There's nothing wrong with paying for stuff, including parking. I know I'm on the other side of this from most people, but I want drivers to get paid for all of their time. That's not being greedy. And the parking at the Loves, they go, well, we can charge for this. Well, they figured something out. I mean, the TA has pay spots in Nashville that are handy for people wanting to check out Printer's Alley. Exactly. There's a lot of benefits to this. 8-inch straight pipes. No wonder your windows are rattling. Exactly. I mean, holy mackerel. You're in northern Indiana, Oklahoma, listing for 9 inches. Come on. I mean, people. The Jake brake is a safety valve. I agree it is, but you don't have to make it so loud that you scare old ladies living in the mountains of Colorado. The TA in Commerce City will tell drivers reserve parking is spoken for, but these spots stay empty all night. I park there, will move if the driver who paid shows up. Well, if they did pay, I mean, the spot should be available for them until whenever. Maybe the company reserved it for them and then they couldn't make it or whatever. But certainly, I think you should move if somebody comes in. If I heard someone say, if you see a no Jake brake sign, make sure you blow your air horn. Oh, it doesn't say no air horns. How hard was it for me to learn to drive a truck? Not that complicated. Where I went CTTS, if I remember, PTTS, Professional Truck Driver Training School in Chicago. CTTS? Holy mackerel, I can't remember. Going crazy. Southern side of Chicago at basically Torrance, I-130th and Chicago. At 130th and I-94, the Dan Ryan. Anyhow, we would split the class up. Class was maybe 8 people, so you'd have 4 people backing up all morning, and then the other 4 were on the road. And then after lunch, you switched it over, and that's how we did it. And I didn't think it was too hard to do, but because I had a smaller class and probably a good school, I think it worked out better. Sam also reimburses for paid parking. That's good. I think it's good. Still, HOS did not have a hard time with it either. Yeah, I didn't think it was super complicated. Mostly it was over the time learning all the loads, all the regulations over time. That was the harder part of it, really. Your Volvo Jake is a catbird. If you don't like Jake brake, there's something wrong with it. So I was been on my mouth. Look, there should be a Jake on every truck. I don't understand the sharp problem. Don't these guys feel? Look, how many times have I said this? If you stink so bad and haven't bought enough fuel to where I could smell you 3 aisles away, what you need to quit immediately and go work somewhere else. Go get some fuel. I have unlimited showers, and I've offered this, and nobody, oh, no, I don't need a shower. I'm like, I'll pay for your shower. A night driver told me learn to drive a truck on YouTube. Well, you can learn everything else on there, I'll tell you. And compared to some of the schools and companies, it might be a better idea to do that. Just your reward card to pay for showers. You can use your points as well to pay for showers, folks. Please. Couple days max, right? Come on. I'll take the citation for using the Jake over your brakes burning up. They shouldn't be ever ticket anyone on an interstate for using their Jakes. TA and Petro in Ontario or zoos, I agree with that, but the one has 10 showers more than the other one. And that's the one I would always go to. One had 25 showers, one had 35 showers. And so I went to the one with the bigger showers. What's my outlook on trucking in 2019? A lot of drivers say they're sitting around when it's normally busy. A lot of retailers are closing, and so are the companies. Well, the people that I watch, which some of them are on here in the channel, commenting, they're still busy moving freight around, and so I don't see too much of that, really. So I think it's just area by area and maybe even company by company. I don't see any problem with it. And as a company driver, I could just always hop to somewhere else if they started not paying me anything. On your 34-hour restart, you keep seeing these women walk by in short skirts. Not sure what they're doing. Maybe they're just walking around in a skirt. You learn to drive on YouTube. Compared to some of these places, you might be better off, I'm telling you. Turn the lights off in the parking lot. Oh my gosh. How many people are parked with their lights on in the parking lot? I mean, it's not that hard to turn off your lights. You had to work today. I know I did. You did say you were going to have to work part of the day today, meaning all of it. Who do I drive for? Well, Bill, since you're late today, that's already been asked a few times, but I don't tell people, for people that are new coming in right now later, I don't ever tell people who I work for. That keeps them out of my videos. I don't like to be messed with the videos, and that just keeps me employed over there, basically. Are you a night driver? No, Matt. He might be. It's funny. Most people won't turn their lights, but will not use four-ways. Yes. So they keep their headlight brights on. We're on with the brights, but no four-ways. They're just backing up. Come on. Brights on while backing. Why are the lights on at all? I see this everywhere I go. People are backing up with their lights on. Lights off, people, please. These are for just the new people. Everybody else should know this, certainly. People, the rest of us can't see them. When you're parked at the dock loading, turn off your light so I can back in next to you. It's raining and somebody's sitting there with their bright lights on. Come on. You can buy fuel at a huge discount if you buy a tanker full and send it to the DC. Wouldn't you pretend like you have an air horn pull chain while you're blowing the Volvo air horn? That's what a lot of Volvo drivers do. Oh, really? So the kids know? I never really thought about that. There's some internationals that have a little tiny button also on the steering wheel. That's the horn button. It's crazy. On your 34 restart, keep seeing. Okay, I moved back. See, I'm always losing my spot. It's funny, most won't turn off their lights, so we'll use four-ways. Where am I going here? Free showers of the pilot because your company fuels there, but occasionally you end up at Love's or somewhere your company wants you to break with a high-value load. A day, I don't go more than a day. I'm willing to pay for a shower, okay? You should be willing to pay whatever the price of a shower is to keep yourself clean. That's more important than, you're more important than the load. Hygiene, important. Plus, you don't want to go anywhere stinking the place up. I mean, it's just, come on. You can't be a professional if you haven't showered in 4 days. And if you're not making enough money to pay for an occasional shower, you should be at a different place. Really. Every once in a while, you'll be able to throw a few bucks down for a shower if you're at a good place. When you're in a doctor, shut your headlights off. Yes, when people are backing, they can't see what they're doing. You're doing yourself a favor and you're causing problems. Yes, look, if you're not driving down the road, turn off your lights. It's parking lights only at the truck stops. You were horn limiting your Volvo. Yikes. These truck stops charge for parking, but they want you to go inside and spend money. They're a business. So they want you to go spend money. Just like, any other business wants you to come in and spend money. I agree. I mean, I'm basically on the other side of this. But yes, they do want you to go in. They're a business. They would like you to come in and spend money. If you park on a ramp, that's considered paid parking. Oh, that's very good. It's probably cheaper to park at the truck stop paid parking than the ramps in Indiana, though. In my opinion, the Peterbilt 379 and 89 are the best sounding. The horns now are not, I guess, here, I just thought, man, I'm really old. Oh, not like they used to sound like in the old days, right? We used to just smack a horse's behind and he'd yell at the people in front of him. Their horns used to be on top of the truck out in the wind, and then in the wintertime, they get all clogged with ice, so they put those baffles in front of it. But there used to just be an open hole out there, so thousands of gallons a month. That made me feel old. Get free showers for a month. I'll shower 3 times a day if I have to. You could get plenty of showers that way. There's really no reason not to get a shower every couple days, is there? If you're not getting 50 gallons of fuel every 2 days, how much money are you making at your company? $200 a week? I mean, really? What's the number to call me? Yeah, don't have a number to call me. You can write to me right there at the bottom of the screen. Truck stops need more bathtubs. Ooh, that'd be interesting to see a bathtub at a truck stop. There's no company will pay all the time in a truck. Sure, there's plenty of places that pay by the hour. There's no way. Wish that would happen. Yeah, I did one on JAT Trucking, which is one of the first over-the-road companies I saw that pays hourly plus overtime. So, yeah, there are companies that pay plenty of places will pay you for all your time. Look, if you can get to in the 90%, 95%, and all this accessory stuff like showers and parking, also that covered, so you don't have to worry about that, you're doing better than most people. You know, they should pay all your time, but if you can get almost all your time paid, that's really, really good. So stops are paid, dropping hooks are paid, you know, all this, showers are paid, all this stuff is paid. You're doing way better. Every time they pay something extra, you can work less and make the same amount of money, and that's the whole goal. Not working 100 hours a week, but making more for 50 hours a week. Anytime towing is leaving to go out west, you tend to run evenings and nights. And seem to pull in as others are pulling out, 3 to 5. If you'll run a reverse schedule, you can park also. So that's the best way to do it too. Run reverse. Everybody's leaving. You're coming in. Right. What is west for you? That's a good question, really. How far west is west? I hear truckers jaking by your house and get excited. Well, I don't know about that. I agree. Over the road is not good. You get to quit, but you're going to get paid by the hour for all your time and home every night. You'll make probably just as much. It's probably one of the highest paid that I've ever gotten, where people have actually sent me their check, was a driver for Old Dominion making $136,000 a year, home every day. And he'd been there 10 years, I will say that, but that's one of the highest checks I've ever seen from an employee. PTA Petro reserve spots for 24 hours. They should. Once you pay it, it should be your spot. So you should be able to come in at any time and you have a spot. I think the reserve part of the paid parking is a great idea. So you can really plan your day. Okay, I know there's a truck stop, 5 miles from where I need to go, but I'm not going to get there till 2 in the morning. So you think there's never going to be parking. It should be worth paying so that you can get there and not have to stop 100 miles away. I think so. Both Ontario truck stops still pay. Well, it's okay, so that never changed, right? Oh, the 1 TA is a Petro now. All right, so I think East was the 25 one, and the West Side was 35 spot, 35 showers, and that was the one I always went in, and they had the more showers because you had less shower waiting. Everything is moving by truck, and somebody has to do it. Exactly. That's why we have a lot of power in this, and people don't realize that. No hippie trucking and transport wannabe. That is a long name. Thanks for being here. You're a rookie with Prime and have to say they almost have too much freight. That's good. That's a good problem to have. And what do you think about Prime? I'm kind of on the fence about it, really, because of some of the stuff I like and some I don't. So since you're there, what do you say about your experience with Prime so far? I'm certainly no fan of their lease, certainly. So my Cascadia Jake brake is quiet that half the time you're the only one that knows it's on. You can't hear them. It comes out underneath the truck. Nobody knows you're running it. And if you have an international Jake brake, even you don't know you're running it because it doesn't work right. Because you're like, is this thing even on? You're not slowing down. When I'm going down a speed bump, a speeding up. When I park, I typically keep my marker lights on. So if you happen to run into a new guy trying to back, I agree with that. Parking lights on. Unless there's like spotlights all around your truck. It helps everybody else. But please, I cannot tell you, stop parking and sleeping with your bright lights on. Nobody likes that. What channel or channels help teach you? That's a good question. Let's get some channels that are helping. Trucker JP, happy Memorial Day. Thank you for being here as we remember all the service members in all the branches that died during their active duty time for our freedom to be here and do this, or basically do whatever we want today. It's because of them that we're here. So thank you to them and their families. I went to Nebraska Custom Diesel 30 years ago, and they're still in business. You learn it all for endorsements. State testing location as well. Good. Are they doing all right out there? Where you see girls with short skirts are asking for, yeah, he was asking for a friend. Yes, that's correct. You can always send me, thank you, Trucker Hershey, send me an email, and I will answer your email. That's a good policy. I have about my company. Thank you very much. You made 3 days pay. I know. You got it made there today. Now you can call off. Yes, you can have some health days for the rest of the week. That's great. Yeah, but working a holiday at a place like that, get a holiday and double time, not bad. Somebody that's getting paid for all their time. That's pretty interesting. Cryogenic Trucker, your company pays for parking too. All right, so you go park and they pay for it. That's really good. Since we're talking about turning lights off, if it's not foggy, turn your fog lights. Yes. Why are they on? Why do we have to run these 24 hours a day? When am I going to talk about the JQ? I don't know. I don't know where we're at here with that. Any companies based in Oregon that run Western 11? There's like TWT is out there. Doug Andrews is out there. It doesn't pay great though, because there's not a lot of companies, but they run out west. Doug Andrews, even though the pay is low, they get really great reviews. Central Oregon Truck is out there if you want to run a flatbed. That's probably one of the best West Coast companies, certainly. You prefer to ship at shippers and receivers if they have parking. You never know if there's going to be parking. Change hours of service to 50 a week and change reset to 50 hours. Wow. You're going to get a lot of pushback for that. Across the board, Maine to California. Wow. That's long for you. That's where Rubber Duck got his handle from. I'm starting at Werner. Oh, right. You're a new driver. 49. Well, congratulations. Thanks for being into trucking. Yeah, just since you're going to be starting there, I mean, just totally listen to what's going on and always be ready for whatever they're saying. Holy moly. And if you don't like it, don't quit the whole industry. If for some reason it doesn't fit you or whatever, there are other jobs. So many people start and then quit the industry. Get a little experience and you can leave if you don't like it. If you do like it, you can stay there your whole career. But don't quit the entire industry because you may or may not have one bad experience. Why do some drivers have trucks running all night when temperature outside is comfortable? Let's say 18 Celsius. Yeah, when it's 18, I'm super comfortable, which is 70. What do they have on AC? Probably air, because it does get hot in there with it closed up. Look, you can't sleep with the windows open anymore. You're going to get attacked by who knows who, or a raccoon, or something is going to come in there and eat you. Bigfoot. I mean, we got a lot of problems. Sasquatch is going to come in. You don't want that. So the truck's got to be closed up and locked up. And so you run the truck. Ohio Turnpike Service Plaza has free showers. Just bring your own towels. Yes, exactly. They have laundry there as well. I always thought that was a great idea. Seth Brother says bathtubs, really? That's awesome. I would love to see a bathtub at a truck stop. Going to a Daly trucking school, they say no CDL restrictions. Good. You won't have to even get the automatic restriction there. You're planning that out early. Of course, you can go really soon. Prime is better than expected. Good, I wondered. Just so slow Amish horse and buggies. They have this slow policy there, which personally I don't understand. Their trucks don't get that much better fuel mods than, a truck set up to run a little faster. So it's going to get really annoying. And over time, that cuts your pay. They can say what they want, but the more miles that you make in a day, the more money you're going to make. And even if it's percentage, the more loads you can do overall in a year, the more money you make. So if you're going slower, you're going to miss a few loads that you would have had time to get over the year, but you won't be able to get them. But hey, if it works for you, do it. Don't lease there, though, please. At least for some time, right? England has YouTube training videos. I bet they do. They got people singing. I love it, right? These wheels be rolling. That's what it's called. If you haven't seen it, oh my gosh, go check it out. Hello from wet and rainy Elko. It was snowing out there. Oh my gosh, Nevada and Donner and all that, they had snow. Salute to the veterans. Yes, thank you for that. Every day we do that here. I've been at the ports in Wilmington. Dole fresh fruit. Sign the window says deodorant is mandatory. Oh my God, really? Apparently it's a problem. Oh my God, send me a picture of that. Please send a picture of that sign. How bad is it when they have to put a sign up telling you to wear deodorant? I mean, really? Are they talking about any kind of specific person that doesn't wear deodorant? I mean, Do you have to be told to wear deodorant? What are people, 6 years old? Do people not know that they smell? I don't understand it. Had a guy park with a new Volvo and had parked with his brightest on. Oh, right. I love that. So I duct taped the headlights. You could see what I was doing backing up. It doesn't make any sense. You're blinding the person that's backing up next to you. Is that a good plan? I don't think that's a good plan. And plus, you blind the wrong owner-operator like Peterbilt 379 here. He's going to back in next to you with his 9-inch straight pipes and set the thing, to 1,800 RPMs and go to sleep. You're not going to like it. Market Express, based out of Oregon, gave them a shot. Oh, really? All right. What do you think? There's not fog lights, but driving lights. Maybe they call them driving lights, but at least point them the correct way, right? Martin has a Western 11 division. That's good. Western Express does too, so please don't go over there. So, hi, solitary soldier defined by one. I love it. Thank you for being here. Happy Memorial Day. Thank you very much. To Mike, for all the soldiers that it's their day today that didn't make it back. To you, my question for today is, do you think 81% of each load is a fare? I don't know. I never know about percentages because it depends what the company takes. So if they'll accept, what I'm saying is, what will they accept? What if they accept $1? So because you can't control the load that they take. So 81% of $1, I'd rather have 70% of $2. And so it depends what kind of loads they take. You know what I'm saying? So there's really no way to know that. Sometimes we fall asleep with the air on in the middle, shut it off when we realize. I think that with the truck closed up, it's got to be pretty cool out before, maybe in the 50s before it's really comfortable in the truck to sleep because it stays hot in there for a while. There used to be Gordon Trucking out of Washington. I think Heartland bought Gordon, right? Do newer trucks have to run all night like the older truck? No, they didn't have to even then. They always said that. No, you can turn them off. No problem. Cash is King Trucking. You have a teaching channel. You do have a teaching channel for owner-operators, and I love watching it, by the way. Everybody should check it out. Junior Honduras, Smart Trucking, and My Trucking Skills are great. I have heard 2 out of 3 of those. Do I think 81% of each load is fair? I don't know because I don't know what they get. Like I'm saying, I don't know what they get on their rates. Until you can control the rate, it's tough to control your revenue. Like Cassius King Trucking gets to control his rate. He gets to decide the load or not. So I don't know. I'm 50, spent 17 years at your last mortgage banking job, enjoying not being stressed. This is less stress than a mortgage banking job, I can believe. And it'll get better for you as you learn everything there. The stress will go down. Does anyone else see the white chemtrail streaks? No, we all see them up there. How about 15-hour reset for teams? Well, I mean, a team would hardly need it. If the team needs a reset, they're getting a lot of miles, right? Little America has tubs. That's great. I use a CPAP so idle doesn't drain the battery. Oh, then maybe they're using a CPAP as your truck doesn't have optimized idle. Which I'd rather you idled it than have optimized idle, which everybody hates, including the person sleeping in the truck. Speaking of Sasquatch, truck stops also need a barber shop. Some have it, right? I got my hair cut once on 81. I'm going to say Scranton at the Petro. I think they have a barber shop in it. Walcott. I mean, there are around. A lot of truck stops need a doctor too. They should have a doctor in there and a dentist. Really, I think that'd be really great. Shams, thank you for saying that. We're here for all the veterans that didn't make it back, that died in the line of service. Today for Memorial Day. Started back in 1993. CFI, no cup holders then though, right? They were a decent company, but they didn't give you a cup holder. Stay with them for more than 3 years. So that gave you plenty of experience, and then you can always, with 3 years, I mean, there's really nowhere you can't go in the industry then. Holbrook, Arizona has jacuzzis. Wow. Drivers in there for 4 hours. Bathtubs at Little America. Oh, I lost that. I wanted to see that one too. I keep your truck running all night to drown out the sun. The reefer that want to pull in, you always get stuck on this side with the exhaust. And that's funny because if you're the one driving the reefer truck, you don't hear it. After a couple of days, I never noticed it. How much does it cost to run your truck all night? What, 0.8 to 1 gallon per hour. So 10 hours through, 10 gallons, $25, $30, $35, depending where you bought it. You're a CFI now, your 4th week, solo not bad, but not liking over the road. It's a tough way to make a living. Over the road is the hardest way, especially general freight like CFI or any of these large general freight companies. It's tough. You don't know what you're going to do. I'd rather at least a dedicated run. Pulled into Pilot in Phoenix. Lady tells you if you pay for partner, I like pay is in quotes too. You can come and go as you like within the rental period, dropping trailer. Oh, bobtailing business because it's your spot. That's really good. Time zone. Happy Memorial Day. Double time pay. Nice. Local jobs rule. So you're going to get paid for all your time and for 8 more hours of your time. How much you get paid for breakdown pay on average? You should get whatever your hourly rate would be. Each company is different. You know, each company pays it different, but you should get paid for all of it. Yeah, 1,800 to go to sleep. Yeah, you leave, you owner out, you bright light some owner operator like that and some gigantic Western Star, you know, with huge pipes and good luck sleeping next to that. You'll wish a reefer pulled in next to you. You know, running a quiet, one of those super quiets. Steel Horse is getting $30 an hour. So that's pretty good money. And it's not like, you know, people say, well, there's not much breakdown. I agree. There's really little breakdown a couple times a year if you have decent trucks, maybe or less. But they still should pay for it. It still should pay for it. And since there's so little of it, they should be willing to pay you for it. No idea. The company makes you fuel every 2 days. If I'm in the truck, I'll use all the AC I need to be comfortable. I agree. You should certainly be comfortable. If a company won't let you be comfortable, oh my gosh, how are you going to sleep? The first thing you're going to do when you become an owner-operator is get massive drop-down sun visor, and then you won't be able to see anything. Of course, it's not a car, right? We've got the car with the eyebrow tint on the front windshield. At night, the side windows I have to roll down so I can see out of them. There's nothing happy about Memorial Day. I just lost an uncle and a brother. It's a somber day of remembering. That is correct. Thinking it's a day of celebration. Well, you take offense. Well, James, and I agree. I mean, people do, you know, that's how it affects you, and I agree with it. But, you know, I took it a different way. When people have asked me, what do I think about celebrations and what do I think about people taking the day off? Well, I mean, to me, and I'm a veteran too, right? 98 Charlie veteran. That's freedom. That's what I went in so people could do whatever they wanted to. So that's how I take it. You know, I see why you take it like that. It's a somber day for people. I agree. But for me, I went in for that. I was willing to die for it. I didn't have to, fortunately, and many did before me and after me. But that's my take on it. That's why I say, you know, it doesn't bother me as much that people are out. It's because it's mattress sales. I don't know however it came to mattress sales, but you know, so for me, if they want to sell mattresses, I'm happy that people were free to do it here in the United States. Nobody tries to get into other countries. They all come here. Do I think 81%? I'm saying I don't know. Remember, you have to read English. That is correct. Are the EP guys still writing $300 tickets in Ontario? I don't know. You got a 2019, wow, and idle to stay company. Good. Yeah, if they let you, which they should, right? You should. Market Express is 46 cents. You can run 15 or 11. Yeah, Western just never pays that much, right? There's always some kind of discount for Western. Heartland did buy out trucking. Okay, an interstate distributor. Both companies they bought out are based in Washington, right? So it's basically Heartland out there, right? 98% of loads are contract loads, seldom use broker loads. I just don't, it depends what they get on the load, right? What happened to interstate trucking? Right, they were bought out. How about a Little America Beautiful Memorial Day? A dog wash, oh mad at the Petro. Walcott has that dog wash thing, right? You make 30% of the total gross, detention and all the tonnage. When that happens, you made $94,000. That's not bad. 94 is not bad, right? What's the pro and cons of being a truck driver? Well, I mean, it's not for everybody. Let's be honest. It isn't for everybody. That's the first thing I ask people if I talk to them. Well, you know, let's talk about you. Let's talk about your personality. Let's talk about, can you figure things out on your own? You know, can you do a lot of things by yourself? Do you mind being solitary for a while? You know, it isn't for everybody. Pro is you're going to have a job for the rest of your life. People got to eat and they need toilet paper because they eat so much. So you're always going to be able to move stuff around in the country. Always. It's many, many decades before trucks drive themselves around, believe me. Big Huge Mike, it's about time for you, so have a good week, and thank you for being here, and we'll see you next Monday. Thanks for being here. You work as a company driver for Prime for 6 years, never really had a problem, just decided to go local. Look, it can work for people. I'm telling you, I'm on the fence about it, about the place, because they've raised their pay a little bit. They're increasing the training time, which is good. So I'm kind of on the fence about them. Big, huge Mike will listen in the background. Thank you, though. There's a dog wash service offers at Wheeling, TA, so there's that one, too. And if you can drop your trailer, maybe you could drop your dog off at a pet shop or something and get it washed that way. I believe there's a small trucking company based out of Tucson called Tucson out of Arizona, and they're at least a Werner, so they run their trailers. There's DSW out of there, too, and they run Swift trailers, so they're basically Swift. Your wife has died. I'm sorry for that. Children are grown and gone, and you're 59. Is it too late to hit the road? No, it isn't. I've had many people in their 50s write and say they're going to go driving. So if you can pass a physical, a DOT physical, which is not a hard physical to pass, if your blood pressure is decent and you can see and can speak English, as somebody said, enough to read and write, pass a DOT physical with the drug test and all that, yeah, you can do it. So absolutely. If it's something you want to do, you can do it. Remember the people we lost. Exactly. I stayed at the Petra and Racine this weekend, and they have a chiropractor, really. I mean a doctor, not a chiropractor, and a barber on site all week. That's good that the barber, I mean a regular doctor, not a chiropractor. A lot of insurance won't pay that because they're not a doctor, but that's still good. That's one of the first ones I've seen with a doctor. Okay, Trucker Hershey started at 57. Yeah, so yeah, absolutely. Time Zone was in the Air Force for 21 years. Nice. My dad stayed in it his whole life, and he retired from the reserves in E7, so he was in his whole life. I didn't follow that whole path, but he did stay in his entire life. 4 years at, 8 years and stationed in the Philippines, and basically in the Philippines, and then was in the reserves. Over-the-road companies have the laziest people, some of them, as dispatchers. These people come to the private fleets and try to run like J.B. Hunt and Big Orange. I don't know who that might be. And morale goes down and drivers quit. If they hire the wrong people, it can ruin everything. That one person on the other end of that phone can ruin your whole life and make you quit the whole company. Saw a Celadon owner-operator with a for sale sign in the truck. At least he prepared. Was it for him or for the company? Did they say, help us sell our company and you get 5%? I think that might have been what the problem is too. Heartless Express is a trash outfit. It depends on who you talk to, right? Marty. Holy mackerel. Most people do not want to be an over-the-road. It's not an easy life. General freight, over-the-road, tough life. It's tough. That's why it should pay more than it does. $2,000. It should pay $2,000. $100,000 is what it should pay. At least, probably more. As you get experience, it should pay more and more than that. It shouldn't be that only every once in a while I hear about somebody making $100,000. I mean, that's just should be what it pays. Amazon ships food and toilet paper. We're all about to be out of a job, but somebody's got to bring it to Amazon. They don't ship it directly from, the field to your house. Do you know back in the 80s, Freightliner had cab overs with automatics? I had not seen an automatic in the 80s, really. They had some late 90s and early 2000s automatics that were horrible. I'll have to look into that. That'd be interesting. I wonder how they worked. One will stay at a company driver if they choose the comfort of not going over the road. Well, the comfort, I don't know if over the road is comfortable. It depends who you are. Donald Trump made his pockets full of money with all his golf trips. Well, everybody loves the golf. Could you do a dedicated live show about driver security, including in-cab techniques? With input a year? Yeah, you can always throw that out there. That'd be interesting to do just a single topic on a show. Driver security. They say tanker drivers are better treated than reefer and van drivers. It depends where you are. No driver treatment is equal. Oh, but all drivers are equal, but some drivers are more equal than others. How about that? Remember that line? J.B. Hunt just called you and tried to recruit you. That's not great. I told him I was listening to me, and he said, what's that? Have you done research on J.B. Hunt? I haven't, but you should have him come on here. Tell that guy or woman to come on the show right here and talk about J.B. Hunt. We'll ask him questions, and he can be right there in the comments. I've had other trucking companies just comment in here, no problem. Right? They're more than welcome to come in and say whatever they want about their company, and we'll ask them questions. Steel Horse, that is awesome. Thank you for that. Before the mega carrier trucking used to be real high paying. I know it was higher, but it was regulated. It's a two-sided knife. It was higher because it was regulated. You couldn't just put a truck on. You had to go to the government and get regulations, say, all right, I want to be able to haul in this lane, and there's a reason why they need me. So since they limited the amount of trucks, there was an increase in the amount of pay. So they could charge more and the drivers made more. Once that went away, everybody could just haul freight everywhere, and the rates went down to nothing, and so it didn't pay as much. But your pay is being regulated by the government. Is that the plan? I don't think that's a great plan either. I hear back in the 2000 Swift was a good company. Years ago, a lot of these places were good. England used to be a really good place to work too. And what happens is the original person that starts these companies dies or moves on or retires, and their kids get it, and then the place just goes down the dumper. Yeah, Jeff, get JB Hunt right. I'm sure they have a YouTube channel. Most companies do. When you were a company driver, JB Hunt was the best and longest company you worked for. Some of these places were really good. And you can be in a company and do good and then not great. Somebody who didn't say I could use his name, which is good because I don't know it off the top of my head. He sent me a bunch of leases. He's a prime lease operator, okay? Because I've always said solo drivers at any lease company don't make as much as a company driver. Well, he sent in a number of settlements, and he's making well over $2,000 a week net after all truck expenses, all of them, and sent the whole settlements to prove it. And so, it is possible, apparently. That's the second person, by the way, in almost 2 years of doing this, that is making enough as a lease driver where I'd say you're making more than a company driver in the same situation. Not a lot more, but he's making in the 2000s, net to him. So he'd have to buy insurance and stuff, but he's still doing really good as a solo, which I'm surprised at. And then I get the same day, I get an email from somebody at Prime Leasing who's going broke and making $200. A couple of his checks were negative. He owed them money. I just don't understand it at the same place. Do you have to bring donuts in every week or something? I don't know. I don't know how you make money and then some person doesn't, because there's tons of those. Most will not like the isolation and lack of home life. Over the road is for lone wolves. I agree with that. You have to enjoy being gone, being by yourself, not have a home. You really can't have little kids, I don't think, and it doesn't make a great life. You won't do it for too long. Heard about ShipX from doing a bet and died to apply. Oh, good. You've been there 3 months. I'm always really nervous about doing those, by the way. And you love it. It's a great company. Good. I'm glad to hear it. Free health insurance at ShipX. Great money there. As long as you're willing to run and make the bonuses. It's 11 something a week salary, but the money there is in the bonuses and free health insurance and decent trucks. So I'm really glad that you're doing good. So Steel Horse says ShipX is awesome. That's great. I'm glad that people are there, because I put that out there and I think people might apply. Really apply at this place. I just can go by what all of their listings there. So JB Hunt offered 42 cents a mile with 8 months. That's not super great. He is my big fan. I appreciate that. Thank you. And I have some more emails from you that I have to finish up today, but the show came up in time, so because I had all the weekend ones, but you'll get those today. A friend of mine told you that Celadon used to be a good place. Yeah, because they used to run a lot of Laredo, and so you'd get round trips Detroit to Laredo, and now they're selling everything off so fast. That's why I think that owner-operator sign might have been for you to help sell Celadon, not for anything else, really. Pride is a good company. They don't really run a large car, Pete 379s like they used to, but they're still a good company. They have a lot of unpaid time, though, at Pride. They just have a lot of unpaid time. Steel Horse says 42 cents is crap. Yes, we're going to call it good based on Pam's rate. How about that? We'll call it good because we'll compare it to Pam. You choose whether you don't want to train on a manual or not. There's a lot of automatics, but get the manual if you can. Over the road is not comfortable, but the constant various experiences get compared to dedicated or local jobs would gain the knowledge of the industry. Yeah, look, it's good and bad. You see the whole country. You'll get to go all places. Absolutely. Everybody that's 21 that's listening to this, which is probably hardly anybody, should go trucking if they don't have a college degree and don't have a family. I mean, why not go get your license for $7,000 or whatever? It'll be the best money you ever invested in yourself. Go live in that truck. You were in Cameron at a little C-store with good truck parking. At 1:30, some guy knocks on your door looking for a lighter. Hey, I need a lighter. Everybody uneasy, I bet. You know, we were talking about security earlier. I bungee those doors shut. I'll take the black bungee, not the round one, but the black flat ones, run it through the door handle and down to the bottom of the driver's seat on the passenger side of the driver's seat, somewhere down there, and hook it around in there so that if the door opens, the further you open it, the tighter it gets. Not to each other, because that's too long of a bungee, but each door gets bungeed behind the seat and around. That's what I did with those to keep those doors shut at night. It's dangerous. If somebody wants to break the window, at least you got a little time. You should always carry, you know, something, not just women too. You should carry something that, you know, maybe bear spray, that kind of thing would be pretty useful. The only catch doesn't really run the East Coast. Good. That's not a catch. They don't care about the Northeast. I don't think that's a catch. I think that's good. Trucker Beetle Bailey's back. You had to tend to your steaks on the grill. Oh, well, I hope you brought enough for everybody. I hope you have 135 of them on the grill right now. Lease number one, fail number one, own the truck. I do what I want. Lease fail equals I own the truck. I do what I want. Okay, well, all right, that's a good thing. You do need to take loads, but part of leasing is that I don't want to go to New York City. So not biting on the manual automatic transmission bait. Yes. Once a third-party company goes public, it tends to go downhill from there. Oh, that's true, too. It's all about keeping the shareholders. Yeah, all they care about is increasing profits, not increasing driver pay. Decrease pay, increase profits. When it's some private company that somebody starts and it gets bigger, it's much better. Because that person usually was a driver, kind of like Central Oregon Truck right now, where the CEO is a driver there. He's the one that drove the Christmas tree across the country. So that's why that place is still good. I assume in 25 or 30 years, whenever he retires, it'll go downhill. But for now, get in while you can. Michael has a wife and kid, and you do over the road. You just work for companies where you can take passengers. All right, so they're still with you. I'm saying if you're gone for 6 weeks at a time and then see your kid for 3 days, that's probably not a great plan. That's what I'm saying. Do I know any hazmat company out of Chicago? I'm always nervous about Chicago because almost every place there is run by people running 1099s. Try Primac up. Trimac, they should be up there. Pride does have unpaid time, but better than others, and not bad starter. Yeah, you could start there then. And if you find that they have a lot of unpaid time, it might be time to move on. You got to start someplace. You do need to start somewhere. Talk to a lease driver, KLLM. They bought Sell It 60%. Since when has that happened? 60% of Celadon? That wasn't in the news or anything. Any trucking company over 500 should be on regulation. Yeah, that's not that many either. For the new guy that started at Werner, you'll never see 49 cents. Imagine hearing about all the money you can make over the road and then getting stuck with some horrible company and not. There's your shortage. They quit. I know. They see you can make 100,000. They stick them on the back of their trucks. But then they don't give it to these people. And so then they end up leaving. And that doesn't do the industry or that person any good at all. That doesn't do anybody any good. Wait, I lost my whole page. Everything's gone. Okay. What's my opinion of hot freight or just in time delivery? I don't know that much about that kind of stuff. You carry a carambit in. What the heck is a carambit in the truck? Company sent you. What's a carambit? I'll have to look that up. You don't want to go to New York City and Northeast as an owner operator. Don't get the hut sticker. Oh, ha. You have to take the seat buckle and run it through the door handle. I never did the seatbelt thing because I didn't think it would hold good enough because of the way that it can pull. I like the black bungee. I like the black flat bungee. I run it through the door handle, around to the back of the driver's seat, around to the bottom of the seat, and hook it around to the driver's side. And then the passenger seat, I always left that tied up, always. You have almost 26 years and would guess 3 million miles. Nice. You came from the Air Force and was gone all the time. So you used to be gone. So you already were being gone, right? They have remote trucks to control pay. Exactly. I'm a driver at Schneider out of Charlotte going on 4 months. In your first driving job, you can't wait to get away from the place. See, that's too bad. You know what you're getting yourself into. You had to start somewhere. But they should still try to do something for you, really. You know, rather than just letting you go like that. And I wanted to ask this too. How many people do this? Because there was just an article about this. How many people log off duty and on time that they should be getting paid for, but you're not getting paid, so you're logging off duty. That is the problem. So are people logging? There was an article about this week that people, oh, the drivers just log off duty, and I'm like, yeah, no, duh. So I think everybody does that. I missed the 1099 question. Where did I go off to on that? I don't, there we go. Yeah, I don't see that. I know that in Chicago, a lot of trucking companies, I don't know why, are 1099 companies. I don't understand it. Use a small ratchet strap. That would work too. I like the bungee thing because the harder you pull, the tighter it gets. A ratchet would also work and would hold it even tighter, right? The bungee you can just unhook and get out. You heard a lot of good things about Schneider. Look, their household goods miles pay. So just that is enough right there for me to say, look, at household goods pay, I'm not a fan of that. They should pay practical miles at least. There's no reason now a company can't pay practical miles. It doesn't make any sense for them to pay, 10% less than everybody else on their mileage. And they don't seem to advertise that very much. They have a lot of big benefits, but the household goods miles, that's enough to move away from the place, at least once you get some experience. Just move into a place with the same mileage pay, but pays practical miles, you'll be giving yourself a pay raise just because of that. Stay away from 1099. Oh my gosh, Jill Horst, there's so many people that write to me. I feel so bad for them. Somebody just wrote to me this week and said, look, they are, I failed a DOT inspection. If they're on here, you can say so. I don't remember their name. So I failed a DOT inspection at a scale and they got a ticket or something. And so the company, not only they're making him pay the ticket, they're fining him like $400. Is that okay? I'm 1099. So he has some kind of contract. I'm like, yeah, you agreed to it. You're independent, so you got to pay it. So that's the, none of that would happen if you're an employee. There's so many reasons. That's just one of them. Oh my gosh. Over the road is hard when you have a family. That's one of the reasons you'll do local in July when your first baby, and she's 5 months. You're from Waukegan. You should have no problem getting a job in the Chicago area locally, certainly. And so, plus your house, it's $14 million up there in Waukegan, and you get to go to Six Flags for free every day. There's an 85 Freightliner dump truck. Send me a picture of that thing. Just use your strap to secure your doors from the inside. I don't like them wrapped to each other. It just seems like too far of a run to me. If I had a choice between all the companies I've ever reviewed, where would I work? On the road, I'd work for ShipX. I've always thought that after I heard about them, and because that's my kind of running. Also, Holland Enterprises out of North Dakota would be another one. But ShipX, because of the bonus and the money that you could make there. The long runs, new trucks, that's my kind of driving. Salary, that's what I like on the road. Refrigerated, long distance road work. That's where I would go. ShipX, here I come. And then next would be Holland Enterprises. A friend of mine lasted 2 months at the Big Orange Tanker Division. Yeah, that's a shame. Why did they quit? With a 1099, driver can claim all their per diem up to $62 a day. Okay. Yeah, but you're independent. You also have to pay your own health insurance. When you get hurt, you're hosed. Forget it. And you're being misclassified, illegally misclassified as a 1099 driver when you're really an employee. He said that they were garbage and absolutely no one should ever go there. But what does that mean, though? What is their garbage? Why are they garbage? What do I know about Alvy's Robbins? I don't know. It sounds like a great place to get ice cream, but I never heard of it as a trucking company. If companies were really great, word of mouth would bring them drivers. Yes. They wouldn't need recruiters. Exactly. I looked at Old Dominion, ironically, the other day in Indianapolis. They don't have any openings. What does that tell you? Trucker Beetle Bailey, your company's W-2. Yeah, exactly. Right. You're an employee because you are an employee there, right? So they're doing it the way they're supposed to. I never heard me mention Mayflower or North American Van Lines. I used to work for North American Van Lines. I worked there for 3 days, so I know a lot about them. In the early 90s, I went to work there I think I got hired Thursday, it seems like, and I worked there Friday morning. Hired me as a driver. This is just my story. That's not bad about them. And so I go driving, and they're like, we're driving over here, and we go to somebody's house. Now, I'm stupid, right? I'm like maybe 22, maybe, 23 maybe at this time. I didn't know anything. And so we get to a house. I had to load this guy's house. Me and like 3 or 4 other people in another car with the people. And then that was all day. And then we drove that night. I had to drive all night to St. Louis from Chicago and sleep like 3 hours. Then we got up in the next morning and we had to unload his whole house back into the next house. And this is Saturday. And then by Saturday night, we're done and drove back overnight that night. And by Sunday morning, I'd slept a few hours and I'm like, I thought, you hired me to be a driver. Oh, you got to do all this unloading. I'm like, that's the end of that. And I quit. So, because then I would just quit then. And so that was enough of that. It was way work and no driving. And I thought I was a driver. So, and in my early 20s, before I was married or anything, I could just do that. I just quit. I'm like, I'm out of here. New Schneider lease contracts require you to pay toll roads. Proof that it's all about. Oh, really? So the lease operator pays the toll roads if you want to use it. And so that's all about company. Yeah, they don't care then at all. That's crazy. It's their load. It should pay all tolls. My truck has a new invention called a door lock. Oh my gosh, that's not near enough. What are we afraid of? Have you seen a Sasquatch? I remember watching Schneider National. The first week Schneider got his truck stuck in a ditch and he was scared. Or were they going to fire him? Yeah, but they didn't. I'm surprised. The example of driver getting charged for fault, just example who would do that to the man more I hear about these companies. It's a shame that companies do that to people and then they quit and they wonder, we can't get drivers. As a company driver, you don't care about the truck as long as it ain't a Tesla. Nice. I haven't seen any of those on the road yet, although I've seen tons of videos about them. You applied for a CCCC in Chicago. And own the company in your name, give it a federal tax ID, and it was considered a company driver. Opened a company in your name. That sounds like a total disaster. 1099 is no workers' comp. No workman's comp, no unemployment, no insurance, no nothing. Where do I live? I live in Indiana. Ran into a couple of Holland drivers at a receiver. You were impressed? Yes, Holland. Now there's Holland Enterprises and Holland. Holland, the oranges trucks, they're going to pay good too. Yeah, 1099, no unemployment. James Faust is back. I'm glad you got some rest. I hope you're feeling better. Who needs bungee cords and ratchet straps? Have a knife or a gun? Well, I don't want to fight anybody coming in the truck if I don't have to. Just keep them outside the truck. And the bungee, look, if nothing else, they open that door, it slams back shut. Bingo, you're up and ready. Because they don't have the element of surprise anymore. Then we're all Bruce Lee on them in there. I did 1099 for 5 years, Wild Bill, but it had so many other benefits it didn't become a factor. You still were probably misclassified, even I think you'd admit that, right? Do I think trucking companies will visit high schools to recruit? Oh, yes. Oh, my gosh. As soon as that passes, they are going to be in every high school with big ads of all money and people with the sunglasses in front of a mansion and a Lamborghini and Ferrari out front. Absolutely. This could be you in 2 years. Yep. At least being a household goods driver keeps you fit. Yeah, because you don't do any driving. Household goods, long wait times to get out of the house when you're set at 7 a.m., but you leave at noon. Yikes. Stupid things like you and another Schneider driver having the same load happens a lot. That isn't any good. I will not be recruiters. Well, they're going to be in the high schools recruiting your kids if you have any high school kids. Kinds of trucks do most local trucking companies run? They run whatever is out there, right? I've seen all different kinds of trucks for local companies, no problem. Your previous post didn't come on. I apologize for that. Are there toll roads in Canada or Alaska Turnpike Tollway? Are there toll roads in Canada? I don't know. There's a Canadian driver on here, so let's find out if there's any tolls in Canada. There's a local dump truck company that sponsors your school. They're going to be in there, but you can drive for that. Not you, but I mean an 18-year-old can drive for that right now. You don't need to, because most dump trucks, depending where you live in the state exactly, don't cross the state line. So as long as you stay within your state, you can drive a dump truck right now at 18. Tire thumpers make a good weapon. They do. A lot of drivers use that, but again, that doesn't keep the door closed. The idea is, keep people out to start with, and if nothing else, I think, when they try the door or whatever, you're getting some kind of notification that somebody's coming in, and you get that few seconds that they would have had on top of you, they don't have anymore. They don't have that element of surprise. We can just get right in there and get to work. So now we've got the element, get that bear spray out and, spray it right out the vent. Spray it right out the vent window at them. Around Toronto is the 407 ETR, electronic tollway. And will that work on our toll transponder here from the United States? I thought Schneider had the better managed purchasing program out there. Okay, any kind of lease purchase is probably horrible. Do I use a dash cam? Yes, I do use a dash cam, and I like the ASACO, ASAKO. I did a video about it. They did send it to me for nothing, but I do like the thing anyway, and I totally recommend it. You should go check the video out and if you don't get that one, okay, get a dash cam for yourself because it may save your career at some time. You should they're in my cars too, so I got them from those, right, I had to get, so I got them for everything. Well worth having. Got a friend who offered you $19 an hour to drive a dumper. It's a pay cut, but you'd be home. Well, it depends. Is it worth it for you? You'll get paid for all your time to be home, and I do think that you should get overtime. Over 5 tons, you must have a transponder. Will it accept the U.S. transponder? Shams, you'll email me. You got to start your day. Okay, thank you. Good. Send me an email. Trucking requires fighting military at high school trying to get to the kids. That would be a classic. Well, I guess I had a benefit going in the service that my dad went with me to the recruiter, and he outranked the recruiter. He went in his full uniform, and so I guess I had a benefit of having that. But I agree that there's lying on both sides of that, certainly. That's why God created a dog, yes. Depending what kind of dog you have, I guess. Or what if you had a cat? You could have an attack cat in there too. James Faust, the bungee is a good idea. I like that flat bungee. It holds that door shut good, and you can still unlatch it fast and get out if the truck's on fire or something. I'm trying to avoid people from getting in to start with rather than bonking them on the head, and maybe somebody who has that happen to them, the door though might run away or whatever, because the whole goal is to avoid. We don't want to get into a scuffle, right? We don't want to get into a kerfuffle. We don't want any of that. Am I working today? I'm not working today. Can it go till 5? It could. We don't know what we're going to do here. I think the fact there's a lot of 1099 companies in Chicago is because those European Russian companies are taking over the market. You know, part of it is because money, again, people see, 1099, so $1,300. I net the $1,300. I don't gross it. Yeah, but you're being misclassified. It's drivers that it's the dollar signs in their eyes when they really should, it really shouldn't be that way. Hawaii is intrastate only. Yeah, I-5. Isn't it H5 or something out there? Right. So I guess in Hawaii, you can drive when you're 18. My buddy left a big orange tanker division because their training was very unorganized. That sounds common. And then trainers were telling him they only make $400 or $500 a week. I'd want to see that in a check from a trainer. You just got a tornado warning till 2:45. Wow. You should take shelter right now. They did say that there would be thunderstorms today. A kerfuffle. Yeah. It could be a Kovifi too, right? Get cents per mile in Hawaii. I think in Hawaii you're going to want to get paid by the hour. The wife mentioned that she did want to move there at some point, but I looked and this doesn't pay that much really in Hawaii. Truck etiquette. Don't climb on another man's step unless he gives you permission. I agree. You might get bonked in the head. Did I watch the race? No, I did not watch the race. And I went by Indianapolis twice yesterday in a car on that side, and traffic was rolling smoothly. We went by at like 11 in the morning, and traffic was good. The race started at 12:19, which I don't understand why they picked that time. Are you guys saying just in general someone may try to open your door? They might. I mean, it's possible. It's like at home. Do you leave your doors open at home? Maybe you do, depending where you live. I don't. I grew up in Hammond, and then moved into Chicago, so my doors are locked. I have like the 10 locks like they had on Friends or whatever, that show, right, with all the locks in the door. So, totally locked up. Problem with training is very few people have patience and really care about the training. Exactly. Most people are in it only for the extra money. They don't care about doing the job. They don't have a heart to it. They don't realize that they're changing someone's life when they're training people, and they don't care. They just want the money. And the company doesn't care because they get people trained to get them in a truck for a few weeks and then boot them out of there. The whole system has to change. Joshua, what's going on? Running Amazon around Indy today. Had a stop in Gary. Oh, how would that go? Was there still anything open in Gary? And as you merge back on 65 south, you notice across the street through the weeds of Falcon Transport. Yeah, Falcon had a lot in Gary. Absolutely. Are there any trucks in there still? Because I looked around here when they closed at truck stops in the area to see if I could find a Falcon driver. I thought I'd give him a ride home, but I never did find anybody, which was good because there weren't that many stuck out. What's my opinion on immigrant truckers? Saw on Facebook where one was deported and some drivers left that he's a terrorist. We don't know that. People get all weird. When people are anonymous like that, they can, you'd be surprised that some people say anonymously that they would never say. It's sad. It's the same thing on the CB. But, if you're here legally, I'm all for it. If you're here legally, I'm all for deporting you and everybody that has anything to do with it, really. Still upset about hearing that happen. Any new ideas about the first time I saw one of their yards? Yeah, I mean, it happens. It's sad in the industry. Are there still trucks in there? I'm not sure. Roger, what's going on? Hello. Yeah, I'm having a great day, right? Mega Curious are not keeping up with pay. Exactly. Mark for president. Well, we'll see about that. Maybe we can get some kind of, exploratory committee. There's already so many people running, though. There's like 55 people running, so I don't know. Hammond, yeah, look, when I grew up in Hammond, it wasn't nearly as bad as it is up there now, certainly. Get Smart had all those locks. Okay, it was Get Smart, right? We're at 43 locks, exactly. Steel Horse has an attack cat. Me too, but I don't think she's attacking anything. I haven't seen her. She's probably sleeping still. In your opinion, you should have 20 years experience to be a trainer? I don't know about that. I say 5 years, and it should be doing what you're doing. So if you're a road trainer, you should have 5 years over the road experience, to be a trainer, certainly, and be good at it. But I don't know how the company weeds out people that would be good at it, that want to do it, that are doing it for the right reason. There are not that many of those people around. That's when they double your pay like that. I think that's been the worst problem of the training. They go, all right, you can be a trainer. We'll give you all the pay of the truck, all these miles. Well, then the trainer's like, we'll just run miles. I don't have to train you to do anything. You're working nights. There's got to be a better way to do that. I think if they gave the trainers more cup holders for free to take home to their family and friends, I think that'd be better. Giving you a short run of about 300 miles and nobody's answering the phone. And can't get the address to deliver to. Oh, well, that's easy. Send them a message on the Qualcomm. I don't know where this goes, so until I can talk to you, I can't leave. Talk to you tomorrow, and then see how quick you get a call. So 25 tractors and a dozen trailers, really? So they haven't sold them or anything yet? Oh my gosh. I wonder how long they'll sit there. Eventually somebody's going to steal them or steal the tires off them or whatever. They're going to be up on blocks. I've told troopers in Border Patrol to get off your steps. Oh, I wouldn't yell at those guys. Lane one out of Gary, please turn out the light. Last one out of Gary, turn out the light. I'm surprised anything is open to deliver to. Or did you just make a mistake and had to turn back around? I mean, what's up there in Gary to go to? It's not too late to start driving, going for a physical. $100 to choose a DOT physician. Oh, that's not a bad idea, Reverend. I don't know. That is very good. Go somewhere, call around, see who's doing DOT physicals, and go take one if you think you won't pass one. Go just take one on your own without having a company do it and see where you stand. That's a good way to do it. The last Falcon truck you saw was abandoned at the Petro in Glade Springs 3 weeks ago. There were a number of people in Virginia, I don't know why, that didn't have the fuel to get back. And I agree, leave the truck if you don't have fuel. I wouldn't have put fuel in the truck. Would ever curse out a DOT? No way. No way. I'm super nice to the DOT. Go in there like a professional, know what you're talking about, have your paperwork ready. Everything seems to go smoothly. What will happen with automated trucks? Nothing. Decades before anything happens. Decades. We'll all be dead. It'll be Trucking Answers 2 taken over by one of my staff members at that point. Last night a driver merged over in front of me with the 15 to 25 feet. Oh, I love when I see that on the radar. I blew the air horn and he slowed down to 52. Love it. Passed him and he stared at you. That's great. That's a good way to get killed. I mean, why do people do that? Come on, people. You would definitely vote for Mark for president. Well, there's a few people. Need someone that's trucking the biggest business in the country for president. Look, Trump sat in that truck. I saw him. So make trucking great again. Oh, we could get hats. I think we could get hats. They don't weed them out. That's the problem. How do you weed somebody out? How do you know if somebody's right to do that job? When you pay somebody double, when you say, all right, as a trainer, you get all the miles a truck runs, what is their incentive? To run the truck the most amount of miles so they get the most money. So how do you weed out people to actually train someone? I think you have to link their pay to the trainee's performance. That's how you have to do it. So if the trainee can't do their job, then the trainer doesn't get their money. Your company wants you to train. Oh, wow, Bill. Oh, you'd be a good trainer, but no extra pay. Inadequate time. Forget it. No, now training should pay. I've never said that. Training should pay. You're changing lives. It ought to pay something. Absolutely. So no, they shouldn't ask you to do work. This is exactly what other companies do. They want you to do more work without paying you anything. That isn't right. So here, train people and you're not getting any extra money. No, I already work for this money, so I don't do extra work without extra money. That's pretty simple. You are sure I would totally be funded for president? Oh, that would be great. What was the most difficult thing to learn about trucking? Probably the regulations, keeping all that straight. The driving part for me wasn't really that hard. I didn't have too much problem driving. I caught the backing pretty quickly, probably because my first job was a local job. So I had to learn how to back up. First week, 20 stops, 25 stops. So there were all the regulations, but fortunately I went local to start with. That's a local job. And I got time to learn all the different log rules and everything. So I think it worked out. I just kind of got lucky at it. But it was keeping all the regulations straight, figuring all those laws and every law, every state out and all that stuff. I think training should be as follows. 10 years in transporting all divisions, also be a volunteer act like a donation within the company. Wow. Choose a DOT physician that will really check you out, not a paper checker. Yeah, some of them are like, oh, you can see good, 2020. Any AC in the semi-trucks? Yes. Trucks basically all have air now. I can't imagine somebody, other than maybe somebody driving a cement truck or a garbage truck, everybody else has got air. On the road, I've always had air all the way back. Maybe some kind of tax write-off or something instead of the pay incentive or a lump sum if the money's allocated. I like the money to be based on the trainee. So if once you say the trainee's ready, if they're not ready, then you don't get your money. So that's the thing. So that would mean you'd have to train them. You'd have to. I don't know about a tax incentive because then we're getting the government involved in it again. My trainer got pulled over by Border Patrol, asked him, are you a citizen? That's what they always ask you. He looks at the agent and says, are you? Oh, that's a good idea. Also, poking him in the chest and saying, hey, you work for me, buddy. They love to hear that too. There's a guy parked at the fuel pumps blocking it, and you got on the TV and told him to move. He's holding everybody else up, and he came back to your truck and peed on your door and wanted to fight you. Great. That's a good way to get shot. I agree. I mean, what are people thinking? You should have called this company. That kind of thing is worth a call to a company. People, oh, Mark, you shouldn't tattle. Look, this kind of thing is crazy. This guy's going to get himself or he's going to kill somebody. And CFI, back when I trained, they had a very good training program. The trainer's test was difficult for them to pass. The student training was very specific. I agree, but the test to be a trainer and being a good trainer, that's two different things. It has to be the right kind of person. It can't just be somebody that passes a test to be a trainer. Got to be somebody that wants to train people. That Metallica freak, yikes. Hey, nothing wrong with Metallica. So trainers end up as security guards and give you a hard time to get in. I think those guys all did work there. You train when you pulled triples back in the 80s, never again. Usually they have more experienced people onto that, so you should have got drivers that could already drive. But it isn't for everybody. What happened in the day when the dispatcher were former truck drivers? Yeah, that doesn't happen anymore. Were any of the Maverick refrigerated lease purchase? I don't know. Maybe. But then the good thing about that, I think, personally, if you were a Maverick refrigerated lease purchase driver, I don't see why you couldn't just stay at Maverick on flatbed or glass or whatever, I think. When you were a Greenhorn, I got lost and ended up at a military base. I pull up and there's 10 soldiers looking at you like, yikes, who's this? If you were, and if they wouldn't let you go to Maverick and go to flatbed, then I would say they violated the contract, right? They broke the deal you have, and so that's it. The contract's over. And you should be able to walk away from it. I think. I'm not a lawyer, but that's what I think. What year did I start driving? 1988 at the age of 21. I started truck school before I turned 21. Black Smoke Matters, and I had a birthday there, which they did not acknowledge. Black Smoke Matters really needs to shut down a whole city. Oh, please. They can't get 5 guys together other than to have like a who knows what. Those guys aren't doing anything. I'm getting ready to leave for your dedicated route. Oh, thank you very much. Thanks for being here, Dave, and leaving on a holiday, but hey, at least it's dedicated. We're here every Monday at 1. I was a yard jockey before you went over the road. Think it'd help with your backing. You had to get used to the bigger turning radius. Yes, that's a good way to start out, too. Back in the 80s, it was American truckers who had to air. Canadian truckers didn't have the privileges, but they had the privilege of living in Canada. They get better coffee. Well, there have been infighting in the group. Oh, Black Smoke Matters is done. Oh, my gosh. They even said they're done. The guy that runs it said they're finished. Lots of them were being racist. Oh, that whole place is finished. CFI pays more per mile and half miles dispatch a solo and trainer head sit shotgun. I think he should be required to. That should be part of the log. That if you're a trainer, you have to be on duty if the student shows driving, period. Otherwise, you wouldn't be considered a trainer. I totally agree. He should have to be there the entire time. How can he train you if he's sleeping? Any company that doesn't do that is not great. I mean, how do you train somebody from bed? I could do it from here then. I could train 10 people at a time. Just phone them, everyone. Hey, what's going on? You doing all right? You're well to the movie Kelly's Heroes. Oh, good. That's a good movie to watch today. You love Metallica. Yeah, right. What's wrong with Metallica? Have I saw that Swift driver argued with the Border Patrolman? No. So there's Swift drivers arguing with Border Patrol now? What? These are all, look, be practical about it. They're officers. If they ask you a question, just answer the question. Are you a citizen? That's what they ask at all these Border Patrol stations. I always go, yes. And they go, okay. And that's it. Apparently I look enough like a citizen where they've never asked for an ID. Wild Bill, yes. Extreme upper 30s. I did go to public school, so that is my math on it. You've never seen so much traffic in your life. It's like someone opened the floodgates. I mean, even at night. Night is better. That's why I run a lot of nights. Only nights, really. But I agree. The road, any road they build ought to be 4 lanes in each way, at least any interstate. That they're building them still 2 lanes is crazy. I-69 is 2 lanes. I went down there yesterday. Why is that? There's a YouTube video of a 1988 Kenworth. Yeah, I believe that. W900B. Wow. With the automatic. I would love to see that. All right, I'll have to look for that. I didn't know they had them in the 80s. Kim, are you 52 or 53? I'm extreme upper 30s. I got experienced drivers that have pulled doubles, but add their third pup. Right. So that's what I thought, James. You had people that were already experienced drivers. The third one just follows the second one around, theoretically. Just don't wiggle them around too much. I never pulled triples, but I pulled doubles. And the second one always follows the first one around. You got to watch that. Yeah, I'm going to watch that on YouTube. I've never seen that video. Why are we arguing with people? Tim Hortons is good coffee. That's what I'm saying. The unofficial, official coffee of Canada. It's the best. They have the best coffee. They're known for it. Train 10 people at a time. Don't give England. If England could figure that out. I mean, look, if you can be in the sleeper, sleeping, and the student is driving, why can't you just do that from your house? Why couldn't I just have a screen and have a split screen with all these different trucks? I could look out of their own camera in the truck and just train everybody right from there. Easy. A company that has a great training program that you personally went through and learned is G&P. Yes, I like G&P Trucking from Columbia, South Carolina. I agree with you, right? Sorry for the Monday drivers. Watch out. Today is going to be terrible traffic tonight because a lot of people scammed today and come in way late tonight to go to work in the morning. So I think it's worse traffic than Friday. That's true about the 3 trainer. The student assessment of trainer could get the trainer removed from training. It should. And the trainee could ask for a new trainer, had to leave one who just quit smoking. Okay, right. The student should always be able to ask for a new trainer because people aren't going to always be the same. James has a comment that has been blurred out. I don't know what happened. BP Patrol aren't officers. They don't have any peace officer certifications. I'm saying, look, this guy is only asking if you're a citizen. That's it. It's not like he wants to get into a fight. I don't bring that kind of stuff upon myself. when I'm going through Border Patrol, I've been to Laredo many times, come back through the Border Patrol, and sometimes they wave you through. I guess I look American, but sometimes I don't, I guess, and they stop. Hey, you a citizen? Yeah, I'm a U.S. citizen. That's what are you United States citizen? Yes. Okay. And that's it. It's pretty simple. And then they let me go. They never given me any problems with it or anything. One time I came, there was only one there. I actually stopped and petted the dog for a second because I like dogs and stuff. I'm like, can I pet that dog? And I'm getting out and petting the dog. And then I left. But otherwise, no problem. Some kind of drug dog. I hooked up 7 pups in a row and pulled it around the yard. Each pup followed the previous one. Yeah, they basically follow each other around. So you don't have any problems pulling them around. Could you back those pups like a roadway driver? Not far. No. Had an 18-wheeler pass you at 70 just to cut me off to take the exit 100 feet in front of you. Yeah, it doesn't make any sense. I will say, James Faust, look, these Super 10s are horrible. We all know it. Let's just get it. Let's just put it out there for new drivers that don't know. The Super 10 was a transmission that was out for like 2 months in the 80s, 70s, right? It was horrible, and nobody liked it, really. And it was voted the worst transmission of all time by the United Transmission Association. And they replaced it with a thing called a Top 2, and that wasn't any better. And that was out for like 3 weeks. And it was only in 2 trucks, and I happened to drive that one of those trucks. And pretty much they're all gone from America. They were put on a boat, sent out in the ocean, in the southern Atlantic Ocean, and they sank it and made reefs out of them. This is what they did. And even the fish won't use them. They said they looked down there with one of those cameras, looked, and the fish are like, forget this. What is this, a Super 10? The U.S. Border Patrol has authority. Don't mess with them. You'll lose. I don't mess. If somebody's got a badge on and can ruin my day by making me pull over or whatever, I don't mess with them. I'm like, I'm a citizen, and they're like, okay, and that's the end of it. Can we get an original thought from Mr. Mark? Solutions for company driver pay. Well, the solution, I think, is hourly. There's no reason, I think, that we can't get paid hourly. We have an electronic log, an ELD, that monitors every minute of the day. Why don't they just pay right off of that? Drivers hate it. But I think that's the only way to honestly pay a driver for all their time. Paid hourly plus overtime. Everything's easy. No detention. There's so many companies. Detention, layover, all this other pay. Stops, extra stops, hand unload, sweep out the truck, go wash the truck. Why is there all these 50 million pays? And some companies like Decker and all these companies have this super complicated bonus system. You need 40 points in fuel and 50 points in this. Why not just pay people by the hour? Oh my gosh, how much easier would that be? And then they can just compete. $12.50 an hour at U.S. Express, $13.50 an hour at some other company. CRST is 48 cents an hour, whatever it is. And we'd all know. That seems like it's the easiest way to do it to me. That's what I think. The companies don't like it, but that's what I think. Bolingbrook, Illinois has a tornado watch too. Heavy rainfall. The I-55 truck stop is flooded. Really? I don't see anything going on here. 2 trainers and 1 student. Yeah, there's no reason you couldn't have 9 students. They say back when Freightliner first came out, yikes, FLCs, it was poorly made. Yeah, they were all poorly made. And Freightliner used cab over parts to make that truck. Look, they were all back then poorly made. The company you trained with, the trainer has to be on duty and in the front seat while the student is driving. Good. That's what it should be. That's what a trainer, how can he train if he's not up there? Please be professional and safe. I totally agree. All the time. Meaning shower, that kind of stuff. Do I think lease drivers should be able to pick their loads from a load board? If the company allows it. I mean, they lease on the company knowing what the policies are, right? So they don't lease your truck and then spring stuff on you. So you lease a truck at a company that has that policy, then yeah. Otherwise, no. You know it up front. You made it to Houston delivering at Cabela's. Oh, that's pretty good. How do we proceed on company hourly pay? Well, the government's not going to force it, of course. A union would make it happen, certainly. But drivers will never do it. And unfortunately, I don't think it's going to happen, really. Because I just don't see drivers getting together enough to do it. It'd be easy to kind of force them to do it, but you can't get 5 drivers to do anything at the same time. The only way to proceed on hourly pay, I guess, is to go work somewhere that pays hourly and tell your company, hey, forget it. So the best we can do on the road, I think, now is a company that pays for mostly everything, where they're paying showers and they pay for stops and they pay extra for everything, so that almost all your time seems like it's paid. The hourly, it's just so far off. I don't know how to get drivers together to do it. The government, no, they'll never do anything. They're horrible. I wouldn't do that Border Patrol checkpoint on the way back from Laredo. Once he asked me if I was a citizen, I said, no, I'm from Germany. I thought it was funny, but they did not. No, probably not. But I'm sure you had whatever paperwork you needed and should have got through there, right? 48 cents an hour at CRST. Yeah, they would advertise that and people would take it. That's the problem, too. The Border Patrol are definitely law enforcement. They can detain and arrest you. I think they can certainly detain you. They can say, pull over, we're going to fully inspect your truck, and that wastes my time. So I'm not going to mess with these people when they can take up my time. Are you a citizen? Yeah, it's super simple. Why do I want to mess with them? Drivers don't come together like in the movies. Right. We're not pulling a convoy all the way across the country, certainly. You're somebody that's against the union, but yet there's people not being paid anything, and that generally doesn't happen in a union. Hourly I like the most. There's no reason they cannot pay like that. With an electronic log, why can't they give you hourly pay? I don't see any reason why we can't get paid by the hour. Do you? It says right on your screen how many hours you worked. Plus, would you speed? I bet you wouldn't speed. Would you log all that time you don't log now, doing your paperwork like you're supposed to log that, doing a pre-trip and logging it? I bet you would do all that stuff, right? No speeding, none of that. Everything would be logged. It would solve all these problems. Companies are not interested in it, and the government doesn't really have the power to tell people, hey, you have to pay people hourly. They just don't have that power. What they could do is say, and the Federal Fair Labor Standards Act for transportation, and say you have to make at least minimum wage. But I'm just no fan of minimum wage. It would force probably some companies to pay a little more. I'm just not a really fan of it, though. That's still not a lot of money. Holy moly. Some people cannot work by the hour unsupervised. Well, but the backside of that is people right now are working unsupervised for no money. Salary based, a couple places do that, right? A couple months a week or two off what it's ever collaborated with the company and driver. Well, that's how they do it now, whatever they collaborate with you. I like a salary. At some places like ShipX runs a salary plus bonus, which is better than nothing, because at least you'll get 11 whatever it is, 67 a week there or whatever every week. That's better than nothing. Guarantee and salary is better than nothing. They fall under the Department of Homeland Security, and they weren't law enforcement, but they're not officers. They could probably call. Look, even if they couldn't arrest you, they can call somebody. They could make you park. I'm not messing with people that can mess with my day. It doesn't seem like a great idea. Ohio State Police were doing inspections yesterday, pulling trucks into the service plaza. Man, you'd think they'd have the weekend off. Which carriers with CDL schools would I suggest west of the Mississippi? Well, let's see what people say about that. People on XM radio, I believe, are getting paid by the mega carriers. They need to put me on the show. Well, the problem is, and some people have suggested this, and believe me, XM has never approached me to be on radio or anything, and I doubt that would ever happen. Who am I? I'm just nobody. But the problem is, if you went on that, and so they have sponsors that are large mega carriers on the channel. You can't come on. They're not going to let you come on that channel and call out these carriers for their stuff. They're just not going to allow it. So I think that'd be a real problem going on something like satellite radio, is that they're going to say, hey, you can't say that. These places pay us to run your show. And so I really don't think it would work on there. It'd be interesting if they ever asked me and to see what kind of show it would do, but I don't anticipate them ever doing that. Who am I? Just some little person out here. I'm just a driver. As long as e-logs are in the truck, how could they pay hourly, be unsupervised if they pay you right from the electronic log? I think after years, Smith, I'm probably going to go over to ShipX. Look, they're always worth a call. Go to truck driving school and get a contract with a company that trains you. Yes, that is always the best way. Anywhere in the country. See if your state will pay for the truck school and get it paid free from your state. Call the Department of Unemployment. Some companies, some departments of unemployment pay this. Get it paid. If not, get a loan and get it paid. Then decide where you want to go because you can get that loan paid back. You were in a manual training and your trainer would listen to the transmission and braking while sleeping. Would always get up as soon as I would brake. If you were having trouble shifting, wow, that guy's getting no sleep. That Falcon story is crazy. Isn't that a mess? I mean, hopefully all those drivers are working by now. You'd stay for a couple hours. That's the thing. You don't get any sleep. Don't sell out to Sirius unless it's a lot of dough. Yeah, exactly. That's funny. But then you're just a sellout. I mean, how would that work? No one would listen, right? No, we're not doing that. That's not going to happen. The show wouldn't be able to change or we don't go on the show. Walmart runs ads on satellite radio. I'm sure they do, right? Hourly may never work due to getting paid to sleep. You wouldn't have to get paid to sleep. I'm talking about all your work hours. Right? Driving and on duty should pay. You don't get paid to sleep at home. I don't think you could ask to get paid to sleep in the truck. That's not realistic. Should you? Maybe, but it isn't realistic. But there's no reason we couldn't ask for realistically to get paid for the hours we're actually working. So you go on duty and sit around doing nothing for 2 hours. I guess you could do that. Right now, people are off duty, getting paid nothing, sitting around getting the truck unloaded. Is that any better? I mean, not everybody would cheat, and you should never cheat them. If you're getting paid, you should be working, certainly. There should be a trucking answers channel on Sirius. Wow, that would be really something to see my name pop up on the radio. Oh my gosh. Roger Dixon, got to have fun on your run. It's been a good time enjoying your program. Thanks for being here today. I'm live every Monday at 1. Okay, Kenworth Ryder, have a good afternoon. Thanks for being here. You've always heard smaller carriers are usually better. It varies, but usually, the gigantic carriers don't do great. Stan, tomorrow is Taco Tuesday. Knight and Werner are both okay starter companies. You could have got to start somewhere. DOT inspection in Bensonville? Come on. Then had to go to sleep, would always wake up an hour before shift, so this person was getting no sleep. If you're in an area that's not super populated in the West, you're probably going to have to deal with a mega carrier. There's not a lot of smaller places. There's Doug Andrews out there. They don't pay super good, but I mean, they get really good reviews, and you wouldn't have to mess with a mega carrier out there. You've always thought you wouldn't sell out, but then again, you've never had a good offer. You'd have to see what the offer is. I've had a T2000 Kenworth and an 08 Super 10. Worst transmission ever? Yeah, as voted by the National Transmission Institute people. Is this National Roller Wiener Week? Every week is National Roller Wiener Week. You'd sell Who Wants a Truck? I'm ready for a new one. Ha. What channel on SiriusXM is Trucking Answers on? Yes, call SiriusXM and ask them, hey, where's this Trucking Answers? Believe me, that probably will not happen. Just because I actually thought about that too. I've thought about it. People have asked me about it. Not XM. I couldn't do my show on there. They would not allow the show to be the same on there as it could be here, where I don't have to worry about sponsors or anything, which is nice because I don't have to worry about money from sponsors. That's awesome. I just go to my mailbox and it's empty every day. But I don't have to worry about that. When they're paying, look, honestly, right? When they're paying, they're going to say, hey, England's running ads on your channel. You can't say that. You can't be like that. And I'm like, well, then that's not the show. So I just don't see how it would work on satellite when it's sponsored by them. It's just not. How can you imagine the show getting sponsored by today's show? I can start the show. Hey, today's show sponsored by England and CRST. Right. I mean, come on, and don't ever work there. I mean, how is that going to work? In Illinois, it's $50 for a permit, 90-question multiple choice test, $50 to upgrade a road test. All you need is a truck or friend to rent you a truck. 7-year non-CDL landscape foreman. Yeah, that's a way to do it if you already know how to drive. Hauling milk is A plus B equals C. That's most driving jobs. They're not super complicated. It's just the road jobs. It's just really tough to be in general freight and make a good living because you don't know what you're going to do. If you at least know what you're going to do. That's why I always encourage people, maybe a private fleet or something that hauls its own product around, for themselves. O'Reilly's is advertising down here in Indianapolis and AutoZone. I guess it's Car Weekend or something, but they both need drivers. AutoZone, they have sleepers, and O'Reilly's Auto Parts, they're running day cabs. Those drivers are getting paid for their time. Now they liftgate deliver into the stores, but in your home daily, and I think AutoZone, you're gone 2 or 3 nights at a time is what it looked like to me. But, you're hauling their own stuff. You're not going to be sitting around for general freight. You're going to go out and refill with something that goes back to them. That's how it's going to work. That's not a bad way to do it. Werner is a good starter company. Now you're working for Martin, and you're paid for all your time. You're paid for most of your time. Almost all your time. Not all of it is paid, but they pay for a lot more. England and CRST aren't bad if you like working for free. Oh, that could be their tagline. Hey, if you don't mind working for free, we wouldn't mind having you here at England. Why doesn't OOIDA fight for hourly? I don't know. I've always wondered why OOIDA doesn't call out some of these companies, because they always say, oh, drivers. But then they won't call them out either, and they don't really advertise to OOIDA or whatever. But why they don't call them out, I have no idea. They certainly should. Some of the worst offenders should be called out by a big, huge group like that. I mean, this channel is super tiny. They have 700 and some thousand people, so at a time. So that would be way more calling out. That would really get their attention too. Most people don't want to hear the truth, and your show's reporting it. Well, I certainly tried to. Thank you for that. OOIDA is owner-operator. You don't want hourly pay cut. It depends what the hourly would be. With overtime, it might not be a pay cut. They never compare manual versus auto when loaded on hills. PACCAR with the Eaton 10-speed automatic is not great. I'll give you, it's slow. And ironic, that rental truck that they towed to me had an Eaton 10 in it. And that 9-10 shift, oh my gosh, was 500 RPM drop. Like, holy moly. And it was super slow. I'll give you that. I don't like it. Right, so agree. I wonder if you ask for a new truck, if they'll get you one of the newer ones. I don't know. Tell them, hey, you're hosing me on this load. Give me a truck. OOIDA is not just owner-operators. They do represent company drivers, too. I'm a member of OOIDA. You should all be a member. I mean, it's really the largest organization for drivers that there is. Who else are we going to join? There's really no other good organization that's that big, that has that kind of already presence in Washington, D.C. There just isn't one. Stevens Transport got good training, but run fast. If you're training plus sharing a room, I love it. Get to meet new people and taking safety classes over 90 days without pay. Oh, well, that's awesome. And you get to meet new people in your room. O'Reilly drivers in Denver run nights and are off days. It did say nights, but I guess I didn't think anything about it, because for me, I'm in with I like nights. Getting sick of the check engine lights, I agree. If there's nothing wrong with the truck, though, just keep driving it. If they can't figure it out, and it's who knows what it is. Still want Mega Carry US for a year trained updraft. They call it updraft. Then Walmart Dedicated, they changed the pay rate from mileage and bonus to flat rate $200 a day with a forced reset. Well, that wouldn't be bad maybe if you're home every day. That's still low. But holy mackerel. How many hours do you want you to work for $200? There's an old Martin Transport ad on YouTube. Yeah, I love some of those old ads that they have. I was stopped at a border patrol in Texas, and they have a green card and told me they held you for 24 hours. Really? Can't they verify that on the spot? That's what the card's for. She couldn't recap and work 7 days a week, and at least to make 7 days pay flat rate. Oh, there are no shortcuts, just short paychecks. That's good. Go for the gold. CBP officers are federal law enforcement officers to exercise authority and perform the duties. But he said duty. By the way, you call Martin and they offered you between 30 and 37 cents. That's not what that's not even what they show on their website. Maybe if a company, I would say, well, why are you advertising way more than that? Maybe if a company driver joins OOIDA, you could get hourly. Oh, that's correct. That's not a bad idea. And if we were all members of some organization like that, I mean, they're the biggest voice in Washington. They have a Washington, D.C. office. They have a lobbyist. That's what you have to get anything done. And they would have the pressure to put on a company to make them go hourly, but people won't join. And they don't really call companies out like they should. Why? It should be in their magazine. You did an interview with O'Reilly's in Brooklyn Park, Minnesota, and was not impressed with what they had to offer. 2 days out and 2 days back. That's not what they say here anyway. Slip seat, yeah, if you're home every day. 19 an hour, that's not great. Overtime maybe at least. Regulations including making arrests, bearing firearms. Look, that's enough for me. The guy wants to know if I'm here legally, I'm in. And that's really high security. Are you a citizen? Yes. Okay. The only auto transfer worth anything is a 16-speed air shift, which I've never seen. One of those, the 12-speed auto shifts are slow. The 12 is better. You're no good if you pull out and cars are coming. Well, I've never seen the 16-speed one. Went to Stevens right out of school. He quit them on the third day. And the guide said, we're not getting paid for the orientation. Well, and I tell this to everybody also, anything that a recruiter says is a lie. So whenever you talk to a recruiter, which you'd have to talk to, tell them, hey, would you put all that in writing and send it to me in an email after they're done talking to you or whatever, so that you have it in writing and see what they'll put in writing versus what they'll say. That'll tell you a lot about a company. They should say, oh, yeah, we'll send it to you immediately. 2019 T680 or 2019 Freight. I like my Freightliner. I like the way it's set up. So for me, I like them. A lot of people are more Kenworth, but I like my Freightliner. You'll never get 10 drivers to stick together on pay. That's why drivers also don't get paid anything. Why drivers will sit next to each other basically and not get paid anything. Just sit there without pay. It doesn't make any sense to me. You have to get a permit to go to Oregon even if you don't feel. Yeah, there's some kind of special Oregon permit, right? If you're not, I don't exactly know. Somebody here is going to know that. Most drivers would rather complain than take action. That is a huge problem. That action costs a few bucks. Exactly. Oh, I get that all the time. People write to me. I'll say whatever, go try this. And then 2 months, I'm still having problems. Did you try this? No, I didn't do that. Okay, well, I don't know what to say. To better yourself, you may have to, take a loss in the short term for a better long term. But if you're not being paid anything, there's so many hours. Some people write their 12, 15 hours a week for free. You might as well leave. You're not losing anything. You can make nothing at your house. There ain't nothing like driving a big old rider late at night with all the chicken lights that keeps you, as long as they all work. That's always my problem with all the stupid lights. You get a truck, it's got 50 million lights on it, and one of them goes out, and there's your ticket. Have you ever heard of job fairs, or what about a ride along, and see if a person would like? I never heard of that. If you can find somebody that is in trucking that, interesting, before going to an orientation, pay them $75. Oh, how would that work? Okay, here's a great Craigslist ad. I can see it. Hi, I would like to ride along with you in your truck, and I will pay you, and we can ride together for a couple days. I don't know who would do that. You're gonna have to get to know somebody, I guess, and see if they'll ride with you. Maybe, let you ride in a place that has a passenger program. I'd be a little leery of that kind of an ad. Although I will say maybe somebody would do it. An England driver probably let you do it. They probably need the money. Find a trainer. There's tons of beds in those trucks. Just jump in one of the beds. They probably wouldn't even notice. There's so many people in there, they don't even notice how many are in there. You could just ride along, and when they come back, you just get out, and they wouldn't even know. How good of a carrier is Ozark? I don't know. I never heard of them. Or I've never looked into them. I've heard of them. 14 hours a day. Forget that then. 2 load reefer, 650 miles for 6 stops for $200. No thanks. Holy mackerel. 650 miles for $200? Oh, that's a 30. That's less than 30 cents a mile. That's 30 cents to be $195. Oh my gosh. Where's the widest headquarters? They're in Grain Valley, Missouri, right by Kansas City. Past their offices of East. Yeah, you can park a truck in there, by the way. They allow it. So you can park in there and go talk to them. They have autos on 379s. Yes, you can get them with all trucks now. $35 an hour for 14 hours. That's really good money, by the way. So, yeah, you probably would lose out on it. Most places don't pay that kind of money. Most places are not giving you $400 or $500 a day. The government created this standard. Why not mandate hourly pay model? They even have other labor laws on the books. I just don't like the government mandating the pay. Have I ever looked into Heartland? Not really. Would you take a salary or hourly pay? Yeah, I think either one is better than the way they're doing it now. They said I could earn up to 52 cents, which would include my detention pay. Oh, nice. My layover pay, stop pay, and all the other pay. Yeah, and that's not what 52 cents means. I agree. Okay, I agree. The Trucking Answers Driving Association, or TADA. Oh, that's pretty good. I wouldn't trust getting an automatic older than 2010. The early ones had mechanical problems. Yeah, I don't like the early ones. They don't shift good either. Does Heartland pay hourly? Only maybe they're local drivers. You wouldn't get an automatic at all. Okay. Recruiters don't lie. Your Army recruiter told you would make money and travel. You went around the world and got paid for every $100 I made. They took 99 back. When a new country, the guy shot at you. Did they tell you you're going to get shot at? I mean, I think I got lucky on that with my dad going with me as an E7 to the recruiter's office. I just think I lucked out on it. I've seen a JCT driver with a wife and 3 kids. Oh my gosh. And where do they, JCT must not know that, or there's no way they would allow that. That's not legal. You can't do that. I'm in a 2020 Freightliner Cascadia, 2 days old today. Wow. Not mandate how much, but that truckers must be paid hourly. What? And so if they didn't mandate an amount, then they're basically mandating minimum wage, because that is the current law. So $7.25 federal is not great. It's just not great. Freightliner still makes manual. Yeah, you can get a manual in them. Absolutely. You can order them with a manual. They come with automatics, Freightliners. I mean, $7.25 is $2.90 for, is not a great amount of money for 40 hours. Even it's only in the high fives once you get the whole week, even with overtime. That's not a lot of money. And so I just don't want the government mandating that kind of stuff. Drivers and everybody really should just not tolerate not being paid. You wouldn't tolerate it anywhere else. If you went to work at a warehouse or anywhere and they go, you come in at 9 and we don't pay you till 11, you would never do it. Why drivers do it, why we tolerate it as drivers is just amazing to me. As for companies hiring a driver to take them on a ride along, see they're worth anything, could see themselves doing what we do before hiring them or sending them to orientation, just don't abandon the union. Yeah, I just don't know how you would do it if you're not working somewhere or whatever. Love your 12-speed auto. I like them. Not in this one. You're a company driver. Yeah, you don't have any choice then, right? It's still nice to get a new truck. Todd Spencer of OIDA was on Fox talking about this so-called shortage. How could OIDA help drivers pay if they're not claiming a shortage? He calls it a so-called shortage because he knows what I know, which is that there's no shortage. OIDA is parroting what I'm saying, which is that there's no shortage. Kim will let you ride for just $25. Not bad. Truckers shouldn't be making $60,000. Yeah, I think on the road you should make $2,000 a week. I think there's no reason to make less than that. Then truck companies can compete for amounts. Yes, and it'd be easier to compare. $11.50 it'd be easy to compare. I thought truckers could let their families ride in the truck with them. Some owner operators, it's up to the company. Some companies say no rider. Some let you ride with a fee for insurance, and some just let people ride at no charge. It's up to the company. Yeah, they could then pay what the market demands, exactly, and they'd just compete based on the market, and they'd get whoever they get. No one would drive for minimum wage. Oh, no. People would drive for minimum wage. They drive for less than it now. I get people sending me checks that are $200 for a week. So, yeah, it does. Ozark is a great company from your research if you don't mind running at night. I don't. I do a lot of night freight with Amazon, so maybe that would work out good for somebody like me that enjoys nights. Ever heard of Eklund? I have seen Eklund trucks. Passed one earlier. 61 cents plus free benefits. Nice. I've seen more of these places giving out free health insurance. I love that. 100 more a year OTR. Yeah, there's no reason. If you're gone, your whole life is put on hold for the whole week, right? Your family, you don't get to see them, and now at least you have a phone with you. Holy mackerel. Me and Cash is King, we had to stand in line at the Flying J with a bunch of quarters to call our houses. Heartland is paying 44 cents for 1 year and $15 an hour detention after the first hour. That's kind of low. I would tell them they need to bump that up a little bit over there at Heartland. 44 cents after with a year of experience is super low. That's not a great starting pay. Places can do a lot better than that. Then they wonder why they can't get drivers. Todd Spencer, there's no shortage. They get people in there and then they quit because they go, hey, wait a minute. The first time they go to the Loves, they pick up all those little truck stop books. And they go, wait a minute, everybody's paying more than this. Why am I getting such a low amount of money? Like a waitress gets $3 an hour plus tips, a truck driver should get minimum wage plus mileage. Well, what is the mileage? I mean, if you got $7.25, they give you 10, 20 cents, maybe. I don't see too many of those hybrid type things. Maybe. And I would only pay the hourly on logged time. That would encourage you to log legally. Detention is a problem. Detention's only a problem if you don't get paid for it. Detention is no problem if you're getting paid, then it's no problem. Automatic transmission would not be as popular if it wasn't for mega carriers. Yeah, they don't have any choice. So everybody's buying them, and so now all these trucks are on the used market, and they're out there. There's a reason people call them Heartless Express. Yes, exactly. Yeah, this hourly, this solves the logging problem too. You're going to log if you're not going to get paid. Like if I log, I get paid. So I think that solves that now. The way is now people are driving senseless per mile. It doesn't make any sense. You sit out there for nothing, and then I can't quit my job. You're not getting paid anything. You might as well quit your job. Have I ever been at a Bosselman's? Oh, yeah. I used to have their cards, right? Their frequent fueler, absolutely. Fuel economy might have something to do with it. They say it's fuel economy. That's what they told us. And clutch wear. They don't get it. They don't go through clutches, and the trucks get better economy because they get to control the shift points, and most of our trucks do not allow you to go into manual mode. So I can't shift it myself anyway, so it has to shift. It'll go into power for like 10 seconds, and it turns itself back off. So absolutely. You can spot the super trucker by looking for the Christmas tree. That's what you fought for, time zone. It's a country in the Middle East. Exactly. My neighbor used to drive for Heartland Express, and he said they are one of the better companies. Well, but maybe for him. They told me they can't find anyone who knows how to shift. That's true. So that's why they're running through clutches, because they'll hire basically anybody. The road test is nothing at some places, and then they run through clutches. So they go, instead of hiring better drivers, we'll just buy automatics. Back on the point of company pay. Companies, $100,000. I mean, we can't say it enough here to companies. Does it happen? You can get 100 depending where you work. But everybody should be starting at 100, and then the experience should be more than that. Those people are making $3,000 a week. Then the trainers are making more than that. There shouldn't be some trainer with 8 months experience training somebody making $2,000 a week, $2,500 a week. That doesn't make sense. Company driver to a fleet owner and 5 years guaranteed. All right, yeah, you could do that too if that's something you want. I wouldn't be interested in owning a fleet. Most fleet owners with a few trucks they're 1099ing the people, not treating them properly. No way. You'd like to see percentages for all company freight drivers would be a wide range, but mileage could be a hassle and breakdown to shipping, receiving. Well, exactly. So my problem, though, hourly solves all that. You're on the clock. You can use manual mode with full function. They should allow it. My company turns that off. Automatic trucks and automatic trucks in Europe are different. Yeah, they have totally different trucks. And a number of people have sent me their European trucks, which I posted in the gallery. Pretty cool, really. Seeing what they use over there. I really like seeing that kind of stuff. So if everybody got a percentage, though, all these companies would also have to show their rates to everybody, which they wouldn't want to do. When autos were being ran in the early to mid 2000s, those were horrible. Most companies didn't want them. They were costly to repair, and a shop to fix was and they were horrible. They didn't shift good. They're just very bad. If anybody had some of those early automatics, not the backing part was the real problem. Raymer, thank you very much, and thanks for being here. I appreciate that. Thought 6-day workdays a percentage as local. A friend of mine then didn't like and left for another hourly. Well, the problem with percentage I always have is I never know. What if they start taking low rate loads? So the company goes, we got this new account and it pays 80 cents a mile or whatever. I mean, that's a real problem on percentage. My problem, no matter if you're local or over the road. I'd rather be hourly. I know what I'm going to make. Hourly plus overtime. That's the way I'd rather do, especially local, Oddball is Dry King wine and eating cheese. What is Oddball? They have a payphone at the Fuel Mart. A nice one, yes. You called your wife from it? Really? For old time's sake? $3 a call for 5 minutes. Nice. Did she answer? Because my wife wouldn't have answered. We're on we don't answer the phone unless we know who it is. And I don't answer my phone unless the number's already in the phone. People have to leave a message and I'll call you back. I saw a Sierra England truck earlier that ripped all of his cab fairings off the back. Yeah, right. I'm sitting here with their 5-year-old truck. How many of these trucks do we see with the fairings all bent up? It doesn't do good for the company. That costs the company money. Well, how are you turning that tide either? Anyway, company driver mentality will keep you a company driver. I'm in. I've been a company driver, and that's where I'm staying. So, I'm in. If people want to own a fleet or have a bunch of trucks or be an owner-operator, I mean, that's good for you, but there's something in trucking for everybody, certainly. If you want to do it, I'm all for it, and I hope you succeed at it. But it's not for me. It's not. I don't want the risk. I get 5 weeks of vacation here. I'm being paid today. So that's the kind of thing. It's just not for me. Would you make more? Maybe. Maybe you make less. I don't know. But being an owner-operator, those days for me are long behind me because they never happened. So, and I wouldn't do it now, certainly. Kelly's Heroes, we're the oddballs drinking wine and eating cheese, meaning we've been out for, okay, I get it, right. I didn't know where we were with that. You work for a small company in Maine, nice. How's Stephen King doing up there? Been with them 3 years, just got a guarantee of $1,500 a week, wow. Plus extra and anything over 3,000 miles. That's very good, especially up there. There's not that many companies up there. Ironically, they don't have to compete that much in Maine because there's no one there. There's you, Stephen King, and that's it. It's just the two of you out there, basically. So that's a very good pay. Heartland is the only company that you've called that's a mega carrier that told me they only buy manual transmissions because that's what their drivers want. Yeah, I mean, that'd be the only company that ever said, hey, our drivers want this, so we're going to do it. Your 2017 Cascadia has all of its fairings. That's almost a sign now, that driver must have been driving a while. Their fairings aren't all bent up. I mean, I don't even know why some of these mega carriers order the trucks with fairings on them to start with. Why don't they just order them without the fairings on them? Did I ever think about becoming an owner-operator? No. I mean, I thought about it maybe years ago, but never wanted to do it and thought it's just too much risk for me, and I just like all the benefits that you get of being a company driver that you would have to pay for. I just looked here for a person recently. My health insurance that I get through my company, it's $1,856 a month on the open market for a platinum plan, which is close to the plan that I have. So it's $450 a week I would pay just to have a comparable health insurance plan besides everything else you would have to buy. That's why I think at the end of the day, it's tough to make what a company driver makes if you had to buy all your benefits. That kind of stuff is super expensive. Nowadays, companies want autos to attract more people because they can't learn to drive a standard, especially an 18. Yeah, you don't see many 18 speeds left. And we had a 13 speed, which was like a loaner truck that they would loan out back and forth. And eventually, there was only a few of us that could drive it. And so we'd always have to switch into that truck. They go, well, this guy's got to take your truck because he can't drive a 13 speed. I'm like, I'll show him how to drive in a few minutes. No, just take that 13 speed. So that was the last one I've seen here. $100 a year, we could all afford Gucci flip-flops. We'd be looking good when we're going in to get our roller wieners. Oh, yeah, and we don't have to just get two. We're like, I'll take that third wiener. Give it to me. Eating 8-speed is pretty much garbage. Oh, my gosh. I haven't seen one of those in forever either. The biggest reason you want it because you get to drive your dream truck? Look, that's true. You get to pick your truck, all your options and everything. Absolutely. It costs more to delete the fairings. Oh, okay. They're getting them basically deleted for free by their students. The only way we'll get 100,000 when we start deporting, not importing. Look, you can get 100 now. There is 100,000 available in trucking, and it's not just, certain things. There's different ways in trucking. There are people making 100. They've sent me their checks, and I know that there's people making 100,000 in trucking. There are. It's not everybody because not everybody's willing to do what it would take to make 100,000, including me. I don't make any 100,000 in trucking because I'm unwilling to do what would be necessary to make 100,000. But if you're willing to do whatever it would take, you can make 100,000 in trucking. Absolutely. Buy land not worth the shoes with 110,000. Why would you buy land? I can walk on the land in my Gucci flip-flops, and my feet would be feeling good too. When you buy your Peterbilt, you're going to get an 18-speed. I hope somebody shows you how to shift it because there's only like 100 people left in the United States that could shift them, and they're all on this channel right now. You love a 13-speed, great for the mountains. That's the way to go. I mean, and seriously, though, if you're not doing off-roading, logging work or whatever, I think a 13-speed is plenty for the road. Considering company trucks could make $12,000 a week, we could all be paid better. Yeah, some company trucks could do more than. Some companies are pulling 20 a month in on these trucks. Certainly. You like your 13-speed, but at the same time you're ready for an automatic. Okay. I mean, if I don't mind it, I don't mind the automatic. I just think on the road, 13-speed is it. 18-speed, if we're doing heavy hauling, maybe down where you are there, logging, that kind of stuff, off-road, but otherwise, no way. We don't need to crawl through all these gears. Do I feel the Fitzgerald glider will be going out of business? Maybe. I mean, because the mandate is going to put so many limits on that, I bet they're nervous, but they're going to get a group together to go to Washington and try and get that changed. Extra long show today. Yeah, we're doing the holiday show. But really, we're here, right? Always remembering Memorial Day, those that died in combat and active duty service. That's what Memorial Day is all about. And that's what we can do the show. We can do really whatever we want because people that went before and after us didn't come back. And their families aren't having as good a day as ours, certainly. So always remember that. Dollar Tree last week, $26.50. You just traded a 13-speed. There's somebody that'll buy that truck immediately. You're here at Walmart watching a big G Express driver miss his spot. It's a big spot, but he can't do it. That's sad. Now, wait a second. Smith runs up in debate. We hire out a bait, and we do a lot of paper. What? Look, there's not a lot of companies in Maine. Couldn't Fitzgerald glider kits just switch to sailing trucks with emissions on them? I don't think so. Because what's the point? That's why people buy them. You missed a 13-speed. Yeah, I haven't seen one for years here, and I anticipate probably never seeing another one. Every truck coming in is an automatic. Sleepers, day cabs, whatever we get, they're all coming in automatics. Laramie, Wyoming Walmart is paying $18 an hour. Holy crap. Holy crap. You don't mind the 13-speed at all. I agree. That's the way to go on the road. So what I'm saying is to work 100 hours a week, team driving, and you'll get 100. No, not really. You don't have to team to get 100. There are plenty of companies running, $100,000. You can get $100,000. You like to run for Smith? Yeah, I saw your truck, and it looks it. When somebody says they make 100, they're talking about in 40 hours. Well, you're not making 100 in 40 hours. You're going to be gone. If you make 100 working 80 hours, that's not 100. Let's say 100 gross. You just parked in the Loves in Charleston, Tennessee. Is there still parking there today? I assume so. Big up to your brother in Maine. All right. Your brother in the Marines. Yeah. Hopefully he's going to come back. I'm over here in my 2015 Freightliner Cascadia, the non-evolution. Got it. And all my bearings on my chrome still on it, but check engine light on. Well, you have all your fairings on and a check engine light. You're probably still doing better than most people. Most semi are automatic. Yes, most semis are automatics now. All of them that we have coming in are automatics. And Freightliner says that most of them being ordered are automatics. That's just what's going on out there. Within 10 years, it'll be just like cars. They said 3% of cars now are, 3% of cars only are manuals. So it's almost all automatics now, coming in everywhere. Don't forget to check out the blog and the podcast, of course. Anyone else against recaps? 70-hour turns into 100. If you didn't have a recap, they'd work you to death. As for a new truck work for you, yeah, just tell them you want a truck. Air Products team drivers are making 98 to 115 each team member, but solos can make 85 to 100. Yeah. There's other places like, look, ATS advertises that too. You get in their heavy haul division. They're $2,000, for heavy haul after you've been there. There's different ways to do it. There's some refrigerated companies doing 100. Absolutely. EPA is a terrorist organization. I don't know about that. Plus the 70 hours, 52 weeks, 2 weeks vacation. That's a lot of work, right? Especially for 100. And I agree, look, 170 hours. But look, that's better than, there are people that make 40,000 and 70 hours a week now. So I think that's a good place to get started. If you started out at 100 grand as a student and then it continued to go up from there, I think that's more reasonable for your time away. And you wouldn't have to do it your whole life too. Think about that. So you're starting your 20s, you're making 100, and by your mid-20s, you're making 125, 140. You could save a lot of that money, and you wouldn't have to be driving when you're 70-something. We had a driver 74 years old. Okay, you wouldn't have to still be driving when you're 74 years old, although I don't know why he's driving. You'd be making 3 times the national average. But I think Cash is King Trucking is right. If people did that, they'd just come in clean wife beaters every day, Gucci wife beaters and flip-flops into the truck stop rather than, saving their money or whatever. But at least they'd have nice shoes on. Your company is switching to all automatic starting in 2020. Yeah, so they're coming. That's why I don't think even the restriction on your license is a bigger problem as it used to be, because all these automatics are coming. It isn't much of a problem. You want a manual because it's part of the fun of driving. Yeah, I agree. I agree with you. I like doing it better. I like a manual car too, but I don't have one at the moment. Adco, you must be working for the same carrier. Maybe. Your 13-speed was awesome. You could shift 7 gears and the rear of your trailer wouldn't be across the intersection. Yes, that's the thing too. We've had people come and do that too. They're shifting through all the gears. I'm like, what are you doing? Right? Why are we starting this thing out in first gear? So that's true though, right? Imagine if you had an 18-speed, you'd still be trying to get across that intersection. The people who own Fitzgerald Glider also own Fitzgerald Peterbilt. Oh, okay, so they're playing both sides of the coin. Why do those auto trans start breaking down? Repair bills versus manuals? It depends. If you don't own the truck, see, that's the thing about it, Edward. That's why I said I don't want to be an owner-operator. I don't own the truck. So, like when I broke down, they just towed another truck to me, and I left that truck. The tow truck guy took that truck away. Then when they fixed it, I switched them back out. So it depends. As an owner-operator, that might be a problem, but as a company driver, it's not that much of a problem for me. If they buy a truck that breaks down, that's their problem. And that's part of the choice you have to make from owner-operator to company driver. I don't want to make that choice, but some people want to take the risk and they get a reward from it. Automatics are nice in Seattle rush hour. Exactly. And through the rush hour, they're not bad, right? Automatics and cameras will become the norm before they go to self-driving trucks. Yes, I think that what'll happen is there'll be some companies without the cameras and they'll advertise, kind of like Ashley Furniture already does. Hey, we don't have cameras. So that's how it'll come. Your truck only has 515 on it, and wondering when it's going to trade it in. That's time to get rid of that thing as a company truck. Well, they could still get some money for it. Fitzgerald Glider, I'd like to get an old pack car. Oh, what year was the first year pack car came out? Wow. Love your 13-speed. I love the 13-speed for the road. The 18-speed is too much over the road. It's too much. Don't get you wrong, in appearance, inside and out, it's nice, even carpet, but it's not exactly reliable. Once it's breaking down a lot, you kind of got to put your foot down. Although it's not costing you any money, really, because they're paying you actually way more than I thought they would. But you can still say, look, I'm here to make money. Let's get a truck that's going on here. The automatic, I don't know about in the winter. They're not a problem, really, in the winter. Raymond likes the 13-speed. That's the way to go on the road, right? You won't drive an automatic. I like having control. Do you drive an automatic car? Put in manual mode and shift when you want. And most trucks probably allow it. They don't allow that here, where I am, which I wish they did, because it is easier in the snow. But if it allows manual mode, it's the same thing. Kind of like your car. Put it in manual mode. You can shift it however you want. Owner-operators make more money. Yes, they can. Yes, owner-operators tend to make more money. If you're on a freight lane, you'll get one check-engine light. You should consider yourself lucky. If you only have one light, that truck's ready to roll. Ask for a new truck. You got a new an 18389, which looks great, right? When it's a 19. You can just kind of say, look, I need to make some money here. What are we doing? When I first started at USX Walmart dedicated, you were recapping for 30 days around 60 at one point, killing yourself. Wow, 10 months on no home time. You were 3 hours from your house. That is a long time to be away from home. Let me tell you, that is dedication. They really should have paid you good for that. You want to go back to smoking the Bandit days? But we couldn't get our beer. Did scurry home for a few hours on a reset. That's horrible. That is a long time out. But you would sleep the 34 hours. You're so worn out. You get home, sleep it, and go back. Or sleep in the truck. That's no good. 18 speed is fine. Split the top side unless pulling heavy. Right, but I'm saying if you don't ever pull heavy, it seems like it's overkill. You don't need the 18 speed if you're not running heavy loads. That's, 13 speed is plenty. You're back in the day, drivers had fun, but it's gotten so competitive. Oh, it's super fun. Man, every day is a laugh riot out here, believe me. Automatic or manual doesn't matter as long as you get paid. Yes, that's what I'm thinking. When the company says we're going to automatics, I'm like, is the pay the same? Yes. Okay, I guess I start driving an automatic. That's basically how it went here. We did have some drivers grumble. I will say that. They grumbled like this. They were going grumble, grumble, stuff like that. But none of them quit. Several of them are, I'm going to quit. They didn't quit. They're driving one now. They didn't go anywhere. So we make it through the winter with them just fine. Manual shifting is still limited in power. It shifts like an auto. Most of manual cut in the engine, except the unit wants to turn. Part of it is the company can set those settings. I don't get the manual shift at all. Automatics are no good when slowing down to make a turn, and the stupid thing cannot make up its mind. I'll agree with you there. The red light problem I've commented on, that once you get the green, it can't pick the gear back up. I agree. Work 70 and take 2 days off to reset. Yeah, you could do that. I think that's a lot of hours to work in 5 days, but yes. Owner-operators make more, spend more, and have a lot more risk. Can't run a business, you will fail. No, not all owner-operators fail. They're taking a lot more risk, and they should make more because of the risk that they're taking. Risk should pay. There should be a reward for the risk. They make more because they have risk. I don't have any risk. You wish you were born in the 70s, you could experience the good old days. You wouldn't remember it, though. We would have forgotten it because of living through the 70s. Peterbilt was fun when it started in the 03, right. But by 10, it became boring out here, and truck stops are against fun. If 3 truckers are together laughing, they call the police. Well, they're afraid that they're all in one truck. Back in the 70s. 379 is in the 70s. My buddy switched from a 389 13-speed to a Cascadia automatic. He likes the automatic more. Well, he's a local city driver, so yeah, he shouldn't really love it. You found that even with the automatic in the trucks, the majority of breakdown that you've had have absolutely nothing to do with the transmission. Right. I haven't had any shifting problems with it at all. This last breakdown, which was the first one that it had, was for some kind of brake light recall that it turns out that the truck had. So the truck still shifts fine. Will that last forever? I don't know. They don't keep them forever, so hopefully I'll get rid of it before that comes in. The 19s are here. We'll be getting the 2020s here later this year, and we'll see if I can snag one of those. I'm not sure what they'll say about that. Considering, I haven't had this one that long. It depends what they think about it. Yard dogs have been automatics for 40 years. Yeah, when they go 20 miles an hour, I guess. Although road gear, right, 50 miles an hour. Nobody said anything about those, and they pulled loads around the yard. Some of these guys run these single axle yard dogs with 80,000 pound, loads, no problem. But they're not going that far, I guess. Either way, it's 4:21. I guess I'll wrap it up today for the holiday as we went on a long show. I don't want to hold everybody up for the entire day. I do want to thank everybody for being here, certainly. I really appreciate everybody coming in, certainly. I'm surprised everybody's here on a holiday. Thank you always for being here. Just heard that Prime new trainees will stay in the truck an extra month. Yeah, they're going to 50,000 miles, and I'm all for that. The more training, the better, as long as it's good quality training, not with the person in the sleeper for 10,000 more miles. That just makes the trainer more money without giving the student any more training. Giving people more driving time doesn't give them more training. That's two different things. 70 hours and a half, 5.5 days with 34 gets you back Monday morning. It does. That's not a lot of off time. Some of the driver-facing camera companies with no cell phone use, which is horrible, while driving, wonder why nobody's applying to them. Yes. I mean, it doesn't make any sense. James Faust, thank you for saying that. Thanks for being here, Sam. The no cell phone, I can't tell you the number of companies I call and go, hey, here's where I am. How do I get there? I got a headset on. I'm not holding my phone. If you can't do that, I mean, that's gonna get you lost. The cell phone can save the company and you a ton of time and money of trying to have to turn around. You had a trans fault when you were at the dock. Can't drive if it doesn't like the smell of the exhaust. Oh my gosh. Or it won't go into gear. Holy moly. Candy, thank you for being here. I appreciate you staying here today, everybody, making it to the end of the show. Your best training came by watching. Oh, we can all do that on... we can do that all on YouTube now, right? You probably never get an automatic only restriction lifted. Yeah, but I don't think you have to, right? You'll never want to drive a manual. You like not having to worry about the shifter. Exactly. I don't think you'll ever have to, and you're still making plenty of money today in an automatic. Steel Horse, yes, fly that flag today in honor. Of course, today is in honor of those that died going before us in the military, serving their country, so that we can be here and do this show and do whatever else you want to do today and the rest of the days, because we're all free. So it means a lot to me that they did that before and after me. And thank you all for being here. 33 cents after safety bonus. That's really low. Anything over 3 stops, 2 to 8 stops a day, forget that. I mean, that $200 a day at that kind of money, if it was like an 8-hour day or 7-hour day, 1 stop, maybe, but holy moly. Even $450 a day for 200, no way, right? Some company trainers log the same hours as a trainee. That would be better, right? So that we know the trainer is doing their job. That's all I'm asking, is for people to actually do their job of training people, really. Why don't I buy a truck and lease on the company? I don't want the risk. I don't want the risk of it. I don't have any risk. And at 17, your company driver now in just a few days, I'd lose all my benefits. I lose all my vacation, 5 weeks of vacation, paid holidays, insurance. That's not for me. There are people that do it, and I want them to succeed at it, but it just isn't for me. Owner-operators don't always make more money than company drivers. They don't, and you lose all your benefits, right? You don't have any benefits that I have, like paid holidays and all this other stuff. So it just isn't for me. It might be for you. I'm not saying it's horrible. It's saying I'm not doing it. All right, the next time I'm in Houston, they're going to be a crawfish boil. Don't bring your wallet. I appreciate that. Right, we'll see you down there in Houston for that. So that'd be really great. I would love that. So I'm going to head out of here today. Thank you all for being here. It means a lot to me that we're here every week. I'm live every Monday at 1 p.m. for people that don't know it. More videos coming. Write to me anytime. Everybody gets an answer. And I'm headed back out. All right, so be safe on the road, and we'll see you all in the next one. Thanks for being here.